No problem. Which makes no sense, because then the land of no problem has problems in it.
Decker, you're doing it again.
I'm just confused about myself. Live stream isn't available right now. Try again, motherfucker. Why? Okay, now it says stream connection, excellent connection. Concurrent viewers is saying we got chat rate, we got stuff going on. It still isn't loading my freaking preview, but we got it. The chat is saying that we're here. The chat says we're here. We're here. Good enough. Click the done button. That's not live dashboard. Done as in done with settings. Okay. We're not done with the stream. Okay.
Decker.
Yes?
I feel the need to inform you that it's been going for several minutes now. So this freak out you've been having the whole time, people have been watching it on YouTube.
Well, people have been watching the whole thing from the start to the finish on Twitch and Mixer, because it was working there. It just not on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure not on Alfreaka TV, and I have no freaking idea if it's working on YouNow or not. Because, YouNow is not telling me a damn thing. It's like, dashboard. Would you like to go live? It's like, well, I thought that's what I was freaking doing. Dashboard and Alfreaka. Here's how your shit's looking. Is it doing anything? As far as I can tell, no. Oh, wait. I see myself. I see myself right there. Am I actually live on Alfreaka TV? I think we're live on Alfreaka TV, but it's loading. It's weird. Okay, I don't know how this damn thing works, but at the same time, it kind of does. And that's good enough, I think. Yep, Alfreaka TV, but it's loading. It's weird. Okay, yeah, I don't know how... Yeah, it worked. There. Alfreaka TV is really slow and laggy, but it's functioning.
More than I can say for at least one person in this group right now.
Oh, man. So, hello, World Wide Web. I'm Decker Shannon, the internet personality of this here, and welcome to Live and Wired episode 34, Best School Play Ever, which, strangely enough, I'm not talking about this. Joining is that long-haired, creepy guy.
Hello, everyone, and I think it was way too late for you to say all that, Decker, but good job anyway.
It's for prosperity. I don't freaking know what it's for, but I'm doing it.
It's for the fact that you're going to do it, damn it, and half the people aren't going to understand what the hell you said because you said it too fast.
Technicalities, but yes. Whew! Now that the stream is going, and it is actually going on Alfreaka TV, so yay. I mean, that's not showing up in the restream chat, but it's going on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, all the happy places of all the happy people doing all the happy things, such as actually watching streams instead of, like, I'm pretty sure that the other stream did go to YouTube, and it's just a weird little off thing that a couple of people saw. But either way, whew, we've got lovely, lovely news for lovely, lovely people in this lovely, lovely world. Lovely, lovely. You are on the spot now, creepy. I clicked on your face.
So in other words, you shrunk yourself down and you made me bigger.
You see, the point of all this is the fact that Patricia is not here to keep things under control, so we're gonna...
I figured this out from the get-go, Decker, because of everything that happened when you were trying to get this working. It's like Patricia's presence neutralizes this. Stuff works fine, even in the technicals, as long as Patricia is here. The minute she's gone, I am stuck with this.
But she's supposed to be here in a bit. I have no idea how long a bit is, but she's supposed to be here. But... in the theme of the particular title of this particular episode of this particular show, there's a particular high school that had a particular show in a particular play of a particular particulate. And I'm trying to figure out where that... There it is. If I could just get that going. Yes, I want to open the link. That's why I clicked on it. You son of a...
I'm just going to read this aloud because I think it's hilarious. Epic Jason X9000 said, I clicked on your face. Sounds like the name of a really bad modern horror movie.
Okay, so I'll just bring this over here. Okay, so Inside Alien, the play, the high school... Great. The high school production going viral for its scene-stealing xenomorph. Yeah. And why... No, go away, giant ad. Anyway. Yeah, great. That's great. No, I don't want you notifications. Okay, so Nick Romano here wrote this article. It's like, this is the high school production that has everyone, including some celebrities, demanding a Broadway version of Alien. I mean, they didn't do that yet? Heathens! For 2 nights only, the drama club of North Bergen High School in New Jersey opened the curtains this week on something they've been planning for 8 months. Alien, the play, a stage production from the school's drama teacher, Perfecto Cuervo, that's based on Ridley Scott's iconic sci-fi horror masterpiece of 1979. Video shot and shared on social media by attendees from the showings on March 19th and March 22nd made the rounds, showcasing student-made xenomorph costume creeping about, in addition to its own facehugger sequence. The kids even filmed a trailer for Alien the Play, shot and edited by Cuervo, released online to drum up their own publicity tour. Shown above. So yeah, there's quite a bit of little things. Can I play that? Is that going to actually play? Oh god, that's loud! Okay, that's really freaking loud. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to just mute that.
Turn it off?
I'm just going to mute that and, okay, so you got the alien there climbing out. Nice. Not exactly as nice as in the movies, but for a high school play, that's freaking awesome.
This is the play that Decker wishes he had been a part of in high school.
Yeah. What other play was I going to be a part of?
This is the play that would have made you want to finish high school, right?
Oh, yeah, there's that. I just remember I was... Oh, what the frick was... Oh, she's running out like, fuck you, alien. Let's smack this shit. Yeah, fuck you. The alien goes back. The alien got fucked. Yeah. And they're playing the movie on the background there to give an idea of what happened on the scenes. It's kind of hard to pull off in high school, but hey, they did a good job.
Basically, hey, if you get lost by the plot, watch the movie instead. That'll clear things up.
My inspiration was just that I'm a huge fan of the movie, says Cuervo, who spent 2 months of his nights and weekends adapting Alien the Play from the film's screenplay. According to a Reddit thread posted by North Bergen High student, the play runs approximately 1 hour and 40 minutes. Follows exactly like the movie, with a few scenes added to kill time for scene changes. Well, the movie was longer than that, but okay. One such instance involves a part where the alien walks around the audience to waste time for the scene changes. Okay. Stephen Defendi, the school's art instructor, tells you the play is a collaboration between 3 teachers, including the music teacher, Brian Baraki, with knowledge of stage lighting, and approximately 16 students. We're a real small drama program, so we're used to doing small plays for the local community, he says, adding how the viral attention online is now such a surreal experience. Yeah, that's a pretty nice frickin' head there. Defendi's team were responsible for the set designs and costumes, including that xenomorph number, which started out from a standard morph suit purchased on clearance. It was then beefed up with foam donated from Tom Carroll's Scenery Incorporated in New Jersey. The company donated much of the materials used for the production, including 23 flats for the sets. Then he adds, we shaved down the foam and bought a plastic skeleton head at Target on clearance and painted it black. It was a puzzle. How do you make theater-quality work on the budget of a high school drama department? A lot of improvising and thinking outside the box. In some cases, that includes an egg carton box, some which were repurposed for the computer lab set. We really took nothing, then made something that didn't exist because we wanted to see what it looked like, Defendi says. Perhaps the craziest part of this whole story is that North Bergen High School doesn't even have an official drama department. Cuervo is really an English teacher who has been putting on plays, including last season's take on Night of the Living Dead, out of sheer passion. He hopes his unexpected attention online for Alien the Play, sparked after Mythbusters star Adam Savage tweeted about it, might change that. The reaction from the administration has been overwhelmingly positive, he says, and with blessings from Elijah Wood, who wouldn't be. Holy shit! Praised the Lord of the Rings star after photos and videos of the play hit Twitter. Alien needs to go to Broadway now, tweeted the actor Paul Scheer. Oh my fucking I need to see this. Wow, Savage writes. We are impressed, tweets the official Alien franchise account. 40 years and still going strong. And yeah, it is. Tweets and natas. Okay, this is a long... Okay, that's the end of the article. Okay, I may as well just... Defendi isn't sure the program will be able to put in additional shows beyond the initial 2. It's not so much that the production is too expensive, he notes, it's more logistically finding time. To put that into perspective, Cuervo explains, we have a stage crew at our school's very crowded school, so the stage is used for everything. That includes band rehearsals and study halls. This crew, he adds, came in and they had 4 or 5 days to get all of this done. We're actually there dismantling the sets before Adam Savage tweeted about it, Defendi says, making way for other events in the auditorium. Let's see if all this viral attention can make a difference. With all the people waiting to see it now, Cuervo adds, it would definitely need a bigger venue. So yeah. I mean, actually, let me get that out of the. Yeah, just close that. Close it. No. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay. You seem to. Are you still there? Because you disappeared from down here. Oh no, you're there. Are you just ignoring me now? Maybe, Mister.
Hello.
Hi.
I thought you were still rambling on aimlessly about the article, like you're just talking to your computer or complaining about how something wasn't working right. I mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of hard for me to keep track.
Well, I was just clicking down here, and you were just kind of staring at me, like, hello.
Like, you all should be around when I'm on the phone with him. Like, there will be these points where the conversation will just go off sideways, and I'll just be left holding the phone and waiting for him to stop, which could take a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna try refreshing the restream chat because I'm getting a good amount of chat from Twitch, but like nothing from YouTube, and I don't think that's right. So I'm gonna refresh that restream chat. Hope for the best here. Let me see. What's going on in the live control? Yeah, there's plenty of chat over on YouTube. Holy crap balls, is there a lot of chat? Oh, God.
You're just now getting caught up?
Yes, I am. Decker, any plans on reviewing with Pacific Rim Uprising, Ultraman, the next Kong Skull Island, Reign of Fire, and the Godzilla Netflix trilogy. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Yeah, there's a lot of chat that was going on that was like, holy hell. Oh, man. Whew, sorry about that. Did the restream chat work now? Okay, I just got a piece of chat from Twitch saying, of course it's YouTube.
No, it's been working for me fine the whole time.
Yeah, it just tells me overall, the restream isn't connecting to YouTube chats. That is telling me there's like 103 people watching on YouTube and 5 on Twitch and none on Mixer. But it is getting the chat from Mixer. Okay, live control room. There we are. Wait, I'm on Twitch? Yes, I'm also streaming this on Twitch and Mixer and Alfreaka TV and possibly you now, but I don't know because it's really hard to tell.
We're professionals.
Absolutely. Wait, where the hell did I put the Alfreaka TV? Oops. Anyway, so any thoughts on that lovely play? Because I thought that was when I was in frickin' school, we sang 18 tons, 16 tons, whatever. A lot of fucking tons. As always.
Like, wait, what now? He was saying how many? Oh, okay.
Motorcycle US is saying still waiting for Dog Soldiers review, Decker. Yeah, you missed that one. I have reviewed Dog Soldiers.
I was gonna say, I thought you had already reviewed that one. Jacob Harmley, I believe. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Would you get rid of Prometheus or the Predator?
That is a tough little one, because I'm assuming that means, like, strike it from existence. It never happened. Something else can happen in its place. Because, like, Prometheus, I don't particularly care for the direction, but the Predator, I absolutely hate the direction. But the Predator is one, and Prometheus led to Covenant, which I also didn't particularly care for because it was like Prometheus again. But also, now that Disney has a hold of it, they're like, you know what? You wanted some closure, you wanted to see where this was all leading to? Well, too fucking bad. We're not continuing this shit. And it's like, yeah, I'd rather actually have that finished off than it just go nowhere.
Well, you're too late. We already know how it ends. Everybody winds up in a church. Like xenomorphs, predators, they're all in a church at the end, shaking hands, saying hi to each other. They got off the island, but they're all dead.
Ooh, boy. But, yeah, there's the, which franchise is better to you? Wait, Friday the 13th or Halloween? Which franchise is better to you? Oh, I'm a pretty big fan of the Friday the 13th franchise, so I'm gonna have to go with my boy Jason. Just stabbing the teens who are often smoking the weeds and doing the drinking and drugs, and actually not even teens, like middle-aged men doing the cocaine. Just get an axe in the back of his head.
Yeah, it's like the era of having 30-year-olds play teenagers. Having sex in the back seats of cars while smoking dope so that it attracts the serial killer to come and murder them. I mean, that was what they were doing, right?
I assume so. I'm checking the Twitch chat, and Vault Gary says, Gary! Ah, Gary. Ha ha ha, Gary! Hey, everyone. Hey, Decker. Hello, Creepy. Hello, Gary. Oof.
King Gary.
Okay. Ooh. Miss Robotech, Decker, why don't you do a review on King Kong movies? Oh, there haven't been nearly as many King Kong movies, I don't think. Like, there's King Kong, and there's a couple of other King Kongs, just the King Kong ripoffs that are, like Mighty Joe Young. And
I mean, there were, back in the black and white era of Hollywood, there were like a long string of sequels after the King Kong movie, the first one. But I do feel like, I do want to say that overall King Kong, is the lesser known kaiju, so to speak.
yeah, though whenever King Kong had to go up against Godzilla, they always had to buff up King Kong to pretty much not be King Kong anymore. What would happen if they actually reduced Godzilla to be King Kong size instead?
That's never going to happen. Plus, there's also the fact that depending on which version you saw, it varies as to who won. Like in the Japanese version, Godzilla won. In the American version, King Kong won.
I don't see why. I didn't care for King Kong. I don't know. Is there a big patriotic thing about King Kong that I don't know about?
Well, King Kong was kind of a kaiju before kaiju were really a thing.
Like as far as I remember, King Kong was sort of based on the legends of gorillas, of mountain gorillas, before mountain gorillas became like officially classified as, oh yeah, that's a real thing that does exist.
Right. It's just they're not giant sized. But at the same time, like King Kong was the 30s. Godzilla was post World War II. So, King Kong came first, but King Kong was much smaller, back in the day. He could fit on the top. He was big, but he could fit on top of a skyscraper. If you did a 2 scale between King Kong and Godzilla would still stomp on him.
Oh, yeah. Terry Ham dropped $2 and asked, where in the hell was Creepy last Godzilla review? Or last Godzilla review? I guess they're emphasizing how I pronounce things.
Godzilla.
There's old Godzilla there.
Godzilla! Come back, Godzilla!
So where Creepy was, I didn't ask him. I told him that I was doing all of these I Spit on Your Graves, and he stayed far, far away from me, I think.
Pretty much.
So
I still called him to find out what the hell was taking him so long with his review, but I didn't wish to partake in any of the I Spit on Your Grave. And then I found out afterward that he had watched the first one, did the review, uploaded it, and was waiting for it to get unblocked. And while he was doing that, he watched the Godzilla movie because he didn't want to see any more I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Decker, what state are you and Creepy from? Well, I'm from Vermont, but I'm not in Vermont.
Vermont, Pennsylvania, and then Texas.
Yeah,
I think I took over the Netherlands. I think at one point you were in the Netherlands, so yeah.
Scandinavia, but not really staying, but not like there's like weird plans in life, and then things just go all over the place. But either way, do I regret watching I Spit on Your Grave? That's a good question. Because on the one hand, I feel like, knowledge is power, of course. Mortal Kombat 2 told me that. And on the other hand, I've been having nightmares for weeks. It's just a thing. Just a thing.
Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, I was trying to get my season 4 of Daria review unblocked.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of. I got the. That reminds me. I got the earlier today from an upload last night. I got the riff for YouTube channel members and Patreon and Subscribe Star supporters. I got that up, and it's a public domain Korean kaiju movie, and it's claimed by MGM. So I'm digging up everything, and I'm like, okay, explain how this is not in the public domain. I'm like looking up. I've got like 20 different articles that all cite it as being in the public domain. I'm like, okay, here. But MGM currently still is holding on to that little claim, so gonna see if I'm gonna have to fight that any further. Might. Oh well. But there is the question with the Alien High School play. That is awesome. I am all for that. And I just wish that there were more classic horror movies that were reborn in the form of a high school play. And to that end, I would like to present to you the Live and Wired Twitter poll for episode 34. Or at least the first one, unless anyone else comes up with something that I gotta type out real fast. But anyway, what other horror movies would make a fantastic high school play? Of course, I've already figured out 4, and I'd like to give you my opinions. So, the 4 that we can vote on would be either number 1, Hellraiser, based on the Hellbound Heart. It's a love story with death. Number 2, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, based on the murders of Ed Gein. It's a love story with death. 3rd, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is also, strangely enough, a love story with death. And finally, Cannibal Holocaust, because I just want to see some high schoolers try and present that in front of a whole goddamn group of their parents.
And the PTA.
And the PTA, of course. 30 minutes on Twitter at Decker Shadows starting now. And I will
also,
be getting...
real quick, we have Ted Shatner 10 dropped 2 pounds and asked, could you review the Nolan Batman film?
Nolan Batman? That's
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan, the Batman, the Batman Begins trilogy.
Right.
That's
real quick, I have another Twitter poll, but we'll wait until this one has run its course before we go to that one.
Okay, I put the Twitter poll in the Restream chat, and it went to Mixer and Twitch and not YouTube, so I'm going to be putting that on the YouTube chat real fast. That's a little better. Doop. There it is. Yeah.
Also, Carrie Ham dropped $2 and said, one more for Creepy. Love you, dude. Thank you. WWE Scooby win. When I get to it, basically. I don't have, I basically just try and do I'm getting, as many of the direct-to-video movies out as I can, so it is coming. That is the plan. It's just, I don't have a set date for these. I do them as they come. Excuse me, as they come.
All right, I got those little things set up so I can actually see both chats at the same time. So yay! Jem Mendel on Mixer says, "Yo, I'm sorry." Sub to PewDiePie. Okay. And Jacob Kennedy 2002 on Twitch is saying, "The summer of Bayformers." See, why I gotta be Bayformers? Why can't it just be Transformers? We'll still do the Bay ones, but I'll at least get the original movie, the original animated movie in there, and have a little enjoyment that summer.
I could always just buy you the Transmorphers Asylum remake.
Okay, we'll do the Bayformers. Just do the Bayformers.
Also, Motorcycle US dropped $2 for you two. Instant editing or never claimed?
Ooh. Ooh, that's either or little option that's gonna bother me for years, even though I know it's not actually a real option that I have. It's still just the thought. It's like,
I'm gonna go with instant editing.
But you still gotta write, you still gotta film, you still gotta do all of those little steps in the
Hey,
process.
it takes like 8 to 12 hours to edit a review together. That's still a whole day.
Yeah, but then it gets claimed, and it's like, well, fuck me.
They're gonna do well. I mean, how is that different from the way things already are?
If you
I mean,
don't get to...
look at it this way: we would have more time to play EDF 5.
That is very true. That is very true.
Terry Ham dropped $2 more and said, "Come on, dude! The summer of doll RAEP doll rape. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I really
It's like wrapping dolls, like just as presents to give to people all summer long. So we're very nice and kind. Oh boy.
But yeah, yeah, that's a pretty big question. Still, I'm gonna go with the instant edit.
Augustus Reborn is asking, Decker, how good is EDF? I am just like all EDF into my veins. My fiance is now like not very happy with me over how obsessed with EDF I am. So yeah.
I don't know. If it wasn't EDF, you would have found something else to ignore her with, and she could be just as mad.
No. No. Out of the six films I've seen in theaters so far of 2019, they're all classics: Wizard of Oz, The Nightmare on Elm Street, The Princess Bride, and recently Blazing Saddles. You saw Blazing Saddles in theaters in 2019?
Andy Graham for Mongo.
Jacob Harmley is asking for a $2 super chat, do you think Article 13 will affect your channel? And, well, yeah, there is after the United States, pretty much all of the countries of the highest viewership are in Europe. So my channel, according to Article 13, is something that's just big no-no in Europe. Or at least, I think it's not supposed to be, but the way everything's going to be set up, it pretty much is anyway. And everything's always overcorrecting, and it's just I see Article 13 as something that's going to be such a major pain in the ass. Most of the people who support it right now, give them about 2 months with it effectively happening. Like, it was voted on, it was voted yes on, but it's still like 2 years before it actually is fully implemented.
Mm-hmm.
Give it 2 months, and I'm pretty sure 90% of the people saying, yeah, this sounds like a good idea, will be like, fuck, go back. Go back.
Stop. Error. Abort. Retry. Ignore. That still works with computers, right? Can it work with this law?
So, I got brain. I'm just, it's a big thing to worry about, but at the same time, I'm just trying to live day by day and say, okay, I got videos to make, I got future plans to make sure that I got things squared away, and hopefully I won't be going back to too much ramen.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the ramen in Japan. That's damn good ramen.
It was good ramen.
But yes, on the topic of Article 13, that's another little tiny thingamajob and big word bomb. If I can find it. I can do things. I have an article somewhere.
The streaming started. I can do things eventually.
Oh man, where is it? I had it somewhere. I had it somewhere. I swear I had it somewhere. Okay, I can't find the article about Article 13. I got more than 13 articles here I'm sifting through, and I don't find the 13 one. It's really frustrating.
Find and replace.
But yeah, a lot of people want to know a lot of people's creepy. Do you have any particular opinions on Article 13? That was a big question on a lot of previous Live and Wireds going back, happening in the chat a lot. It's like, what's your opinion on Article 13? It's like, well, I clearly won't like it. You don't need me to say it to know I'm not going to be okay with it. But
I mean,
you?
I'm still there. I'm like, there was, it's bad.
I mean, Article 13, as far as I can remember, it's pretty much just a very extreme version of the DMCA. Where,
or SOPA.
Yeah, where the idea is, this could be copyright infringement. You could take it to a court of law, and it could be found to not actually be copyright infringement, but based on it smelling like maybe kinda sorta, you, as a large company using a streaming service that users upload stuff to, well, you're just gonna have to take the shit down within this time frame, or you'll get fined out the ass and they put out of business. Until we figure out what's okay. Or not. Who knows? Fuck it.
I mean, it's one more in what I'm sure is a long string of really stupid internet laws that... Okay. I just need to get this off my chest. You want to know what really, like going back, what just really kind of... I could just choke some bitches, and smack them upside their little fat, balding bobbleheads.
Me constantly phoning you and telling you how many subscribers I had?
I mean, besides that.
Oh.
I'm making a very obvious statement here. I know that in advance, but the internet did not come out of the ether fully formed, overnight. Like, it was not a thing that just landed on the planet and was just suddenly there, okay? It was something that was developed, okay? Like, the internet, even in its proto form, its most basic incarnation, it goes back to the late 70s, And it's like, even then, they had, like, police departments and military bases that were sharing information through phone lines. Like, it wasn't widespread, it wasn't distributed, but it was there. And as far back as then, or the early 80s at the very least, you had social experts who said that, yeah, we're headed in this direction. This is most likely going to become a thing. Like, in the late 70s, early 80s, you had people saying, one day there will be a personal computer in every household, And I mean, nowadays it's like just one. You only have one computer.
I got a freaking computer in my pocket.
Right, I've got a computer in my pocket. I've got 2 laptops here. There are 3 computers elsewhere in the house, okay? So, you only just own one computer? But I mean, they were saying this, okay? In the 90s, those predictions started coming true. In the 2000s, you had streaming video happening. By mid-2000s, YouTube was a thing. And so was social media, okay? So I'm like, this wasn't something that just happened overnight and took all of you by surprise, okay? You have had, at this point, literally decades to prepare for this, and you have spent that entire time sitting on your asses, twiddling your thumbs that are up your asses, doing nothing. I mean, it's just like it's like watching those hostage negotiations, or like War Talks or something like that, where you can just look at it and you can tell this is all just a bunch of fat old men trying to drag something out for as long as they can so they can get a few more fucking votes in their pockets. You know, it's like none of this shit that they're doing actually means anything. It's all a smokescreen. And I'm just seeing this and I'm like, it's just this again, you know, and it's just kind of fucking infuriating. Okay.
On Twitch, Bullfwine says, creepy ain't wrong.
Thank you.
Also, Motorcycle US dropped $2 saying, Predators hunting werewolves or Jason Voorhees? I'm assuming that's Predators hunting either werewolves or Predators hunting Jason Voorhees. And I'd say werewolves because I feel like the transformation aspect will really trip up a Predator at first, and that could be an interesting little back and forth. It's kind of hard to have a back and forth when it's just going in one direction.
And the Predators will take the werewolves and try to adapt their lycanthropy into their DNA so that
fuck.
So then you'll have Predator werewolves.
Or they do the Jason one, then all the Predator masks will start looking like hockey masks, because why not?
Yep.
Oh, God. But, yeah, just the whole thing with... I always see it as like there's a constant back and forth, but there's always the doomsayers that say everything is going in this direction, and the further it goes that way, everything's going to, after this certain point, just crumble and collapse, and all of that is just going to be destroyed. And I'm like, you know, things tend to self-correct. Once you go a little bit far, more and more people say, hey, it's kind of far. Let's go the fuck back. And that is a constant little, like a pendulum. I don't know, what did you say? It's just kind of an aspect of life. So I'm not too terrified of Article 13, but I do think it's going to make things a bit of a pain in the ass for a while. But life finds a way.
Cat Lunaskaya, yeah, Cat Lunaskaya said, I think we found the creepy guy equivalent of Decker car rats. Oh, man. That's how far.
I think it's a Lunicia. I'm not sure, though.
Okay, my apologies then for that. Then I apologize. Thank you, Decker.
Oh, boy. Oh, $20 super chat from Savage Tiger. I work at a bakery in a store right next to the beach. Summer break crowds are both insane and stupid, but having a bride to be ask if she can have a 12-inch remote control dildo put inside her cake was the best WTF moment. Okay, yep, fun job.
Well, I know what I'm getting Decker for his wedding day.
Cake!
Now I just need to find a bakery that will put a 12-inch dildo into a wedding cake for me.
Anywho.
But then again, wait a minute. Decker lives in Texas. That won't be as hard as I thought.
13 minutes left on the little poll. It's looking interesting so far. Now if I get back to the live control room and then pop open the other thing here, okay, I can see things. I know what I'm doing. I'm an expert. I'm a chat box motorist mastermind. Yeah.
Decker says that, and the entire internet dies everywhere.
Okay. So, that is something that I feel like should be talked about at some point. While we're talking about all the stuff with entertainment, all the stuff with we talked a bit about movies and such. We talked about Article 13 and the BS, but there's a little thing that you might have heard of being announced relatively recently. Creepy. Yes, open it. That's why I clicked on it. You piece of shit. I just pull this over here so that I can go over here. And where is the screen share button? That's not it. Share screen. There it is. I found the button. Yeah, share that shit.
Oh, yeah. Google jumps into gaming with Google Stadia streaming service coming in 2019, which it is 2019. So, already I have questions. San Francisco, at the Game Developers Conference, Google announced its biggest play yet in the gaming space, a streaming game service named Google Stadia, designed to run on everything from PCs and Android phones to Google's own Chromecast devices.
Woo!
For the 8 people that actually own one of those. As of press time, the service's release window is simply 2019. No pricing information was announced at the event, or even really all that information from what we've seen so far in this article. Google Stadia will run a section of existing PC games on Google's centralized servers, taking in controller inputs and sending back video and audio using Google's network of low latency data centers. How are they going to account for the crappy bandwidth that they provide, though? The company revealed a new Google product controller along with a game streaming interface that revolves around a Play Now button. Press this on any web browser and gameplay will begin in as quick as 5 seconds with no download, no patch, no update, and no install. So you may as well not buy the thing in the first place.
I love that, because if you have fast enough internet to actually use a streaming game service, then your downloads don't take that long anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a one-time thing, so...
With Stadia, the waiting game will be a thing of the past, Google's Phil Harrison said. He then demonstrated Stadia's gameplay on a Pixel 3 XL, followed by the least powerful PC we could find.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my PC was actually less powerful than the least powerful one they could find.
So they had a mark somewhere in the audience to hold up their laptop and say, "This is the least powerful one you can find." You all in the audience know this now because I told you. The following gameplay was advertised as 1080p 60 frames per second. Harrison confirmed that existing USB controllers and mouse and keyboard will function with Stadia games as well.
So, yeah, there's a lot more details about that. This is a long damn article.
This really is. I mean, it's a pretty damn long article that hasn't really said anything.
Yeah, and there's not that much to say. I followed enough Stadia news, so I feel like I could just stop screen sharing right now. There we go.
Feel free to take the summarize. I don't want to have to read all that. Especially if it's not going to tell me anything.
Okay, we also... we got 2,500 CLPs from Gabriel Gonzalez Vilches saying, "Hi from Chile. Hola desde Chile. Decker, would you review Mother and the Man from Earth from Jerome's Bixby? I'd like to know how many Chilean people see you."
Oh.
I'm not sure how many Chilean people... I could actually look in my channel analytics and such. I could try and see if they actually still have the the stuff to tell you from any particular... Let's see. But yeah, with Stadia, where the frick is the overview? Yeah, no. Reach, interest, build. Oh, they changed it all in Studio. Oh, I'm like, okay, where's the map? Gotta see with Chile. Oh, okay, I can't see right now.
Decker, South America, that little strip that's along the west side.
Oh, I know, but I can't find the map at all in the thing. Also, Jack Brand dropped $5 saying, "I predict the final Taken movie will have the bad guy using Liam Neeson's dignity, using silly pranks and witty puns, rated PG." But yeah, the whole thing with Google Stadia is it's a streaming service. Now, streaming services are notoriously very bad for gaming because with gaming, latency is a problem. your controller input going to the box, going to the modem, going to the server, going to back to the modem, coming back and sending you the video on the screen, and it takes a long ass time, and every single middleman makes it take longer. Now, Stadia does have a pretty nice little thing with the fact that the controller connects directly to the modem, and according to Google, it'll go just shortest possible route to the Stadia servers, and evidently on Google fiber optic connections, it's about the same kind of latency as playing with a wireless controller on a regular ass console just running on a TV.
Right.
So that is very impressive. But the bragging about, the Stadia has more teraflops than the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro combined, well, that doesn't really fucking matter when we saw the feed of the Stadia games playing, and they're playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is also available on PlayStation and Xbox, and you can already tell that the compression for the stream makes it look worse. So, who cares that it's more powerful if you can't see it? I'm sure it can do some things that you would be able to see through the compression, but you will always have to deal with compression. So if you're interested in the best looking experience, you're really not going to get it on Stadia.
Play the newest and most powerful system that'll make your games look like you're watching them through a sensor mosaic.
And of course, there's the fact that it's digital only kind of thing, and there's always the problem with the future is all digital. There's more reasons why people don't like the idea of the future being all digital than the fact that they're just old cranky little bastards that must have something in their hands to make it feel right. There's also the whole consumer rights aspect of it. The fact that if you purchase something digital, then once it's taken off the store, well, fuck you can't get any more. There's no such thing as a used copy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's some odd in-betweens of it, I purchased a code for the Steam version of Ride to Hell Retribution after that game was already removed from the store, and it did work, but that code was technically made and sold before the game was taken off the store. Right now, there's a thing going on with Drive Club. Drive Club's online version and all of its servers and such are going to be shut down. It's being removed from the store because there's licensing issues with the cars, so now they can't sell it anymore. So unless you find a used copy somewhere of the physical version, you can't play Drive Club anymore. Or unless you've already downloaded the game, I guess. Or have already purchased it. Hopefully it'll stay up there. But when it's something like Stadia and it's like no installs, no downloads, isn't that so convenient? It's like, yeah, and if you ever decide, sorry, this is ungamed, we have decided you can't play this anymore, there's fuck all you can do about it. Yeah.
I'm like, I probably won't even use this crap because, I live out in the boonies. It's not like I have a powerful enough Wi-Fi connection to be able to use it. So I would turn this on. Loading. 40 hours later, still loading. Boy, I'm really glad I paid all that cash just to be able to sit here and wait for something to finish loading when I could have done that on the PS4.
It takes 5 seconds. 5 seconds, because it's just a stream. It's just going to look really grainy as fuck on your connection.
Right. Like I said, playing your games through a sensor mosaic. And Decker has stories to tell of like, hey, I've got this great new game and I can, I bought you a copy so you don't even have to pay for it. Now we can play it together. Loading. Okay, so has it loaded yet? No, it's at 2%. It's been an hour.
Oh boy, but oh god. But Zellstrike left a comment saying, "Hey Decker, this isn't a troll or a joke. I discovered you through recommended a few months back, and you have got me through hard times. Your videos feel so genuine. Your art matters." Ed, thank you. They're not genuine, but at least they feel genuine. That's the joke, creepy.
Actually, I was reading what Augustus Reborn said. Previous Stadia game loading.
Oh god, but yeah, they say it's going to all be on SSDs and such, and the Stadia you can stack different hardware uh, components together if you're developing games for it, and that's going to be oh so useful. It'll unlock so much. It's like yeah, but if you're going to actually utilize that much power, it is going to be an expensive ass game to make. And I'm trying to figure out how the hell are the developers going to monetize it? Is there a subscription service for Stadia, or do you still have to buy the game separately because you still don't necessarily own the games? So,
Commercial. Like you'll be playing the game, and then you'll be like halfway through a level, right before you shoot the the boss level, and
you just see that little ad starting in 5, 4, 3.
Gotta kill him! Gotta kill him! God damn it!
And after being told how great Coca-Cola is, you come back and the guy's just just gets that hidden on you, and you're like,
right. Zell Strike said, and hi, Creepy, thanks for writing all of Decker's scripts and doing all the work for him uncredited, because that's so true.
Anyway, let's see what other articles we have to talk about. Oh, yeah, Walmart is also getting on the game streaming thing. Because after Stadia was announced, Walmart had to say, actually, we can stream games too. Yeah.
Oh man! I mean, like I am imagining the kind of games from a Walmart streaming game streaming service, and I'm just like, what are they gonna do? Have like rough and ready cart pushing racers or what? Or see. I mean, I mean, like, okay, I know. In all seriousness, they'll have like actually developed games, but at the same time, that's just, I don't know. That just feels. What's the word I'm looking for here? Stupid.
Yeah, I'm just a lot of the things that they talked about that you can do with Stadia that actually sounded kind of interesting. They're like, oh, you like your 100-player battle royale? Well, Stadia can give you 1,000 or 2,000, maybe 10,000 player battle royale. And it's like, cool, you got that to show off? No.
Also, Gabriel Gonzalez Vilches dropped 1,000 COP. Said Decker, Mother, and The Man from Earth. Great movie, I think.
I'm gonna have to track those down and see exactly what those movies are. I'm pretty sure Man from Earth. That's where most of them come from. I mean, usually you don't have to note they're from Earth. Okay, sometimes maybe I would have to note that to myself. It's like, yes, I am from Earth.
Mm-hmm. Decker needs to remind himself of that every couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, and Zart Leader 97 says PlanetSide 2 does 2,000 players, and oh, PlanetSide 2. Ah, the joy of good PlanetSide battles. Nothing like just a straight up fucking sci-fi war. Just really get the blood pumping.
Motorcycles US said, creepy, I got paid $12 an hour as a cart pusher. Holy shit!
Wait, what? Got paid.
Motorcycles US said that they said, creepy, I got paid $12 an hour as a cart pusher. I kind of hate you. I kind of hate this guy right now because I was a cart pusher at Walmart at one point, and I got paid like $6.50, I think, maybe maybe I didn't even clear $7. So I got paid.
I know. I was doing overnight stock at Kroger for 5 years at 10, and I never got a raise because they're like, "Well, you're capped out." I'm like, "Why?" Because you're part time. It's like, "But I work 40 hours a week. That's part time." Oh boy. Epic Jason X9000 says, instead of Google or Walmart making game consoles, why not have the Galloping Ghost make a game console specifically for playing arcade games? That's a better investment.
Brianna Roberts is asking for you and I to howl.
Why?
It's there. I'm just
Is it the
reading.
magic that will summon Patricia to help make sure this stream gets more focused and we can actually talk about news? Oh, creepy. Speaking
Mhm.
of voice and your voice, would you like your voice to be Chucky for the Child's Play reboot? Yes, I want to open the damn thing. Okay.
We're not talking about this.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Yes.
No, we're not. Why do you insist on bringing this up every freaking live and wired?
I didn't. It's Patricia made the news articles of news. I closed the ad, damn it. Okay. No. Go. No. Dang. Oh, okay, never mind this article. Never mind. Okay, we got the gist of the article, I think. Did we? I hope we did. So, Gravy, what do you think about the search for a new voice actor for Chucky?
Honestly, okay, I know this film franchise has a lot of fans. Personally, if it all exploded into a fiery blaze, I would not be unhappy. But I know it has fans. And I know that the voice actor who does the voice of Chucky is a very prolific actor. He has done a lot. Like, that's probably one of his most famous roles, but he's done a lot. And it's kind of like with Kevin Conroy and Batman from Batman the Animated Series. Batman the Animated Series was made in the 90s. It's going to be a show that's 30 years old pretty soon. But people still talk about it, you know? And people still identify Kevin Conroy with the character Batman. Like, that's still what people like. If there is someone voicing Batman in an animated show or movie, or animated anything, Kevin Conroy is who that person gets compared to, is held up against. I feel like that's going to be the same way in this case. I feel like whoever they get to play this role, that is what people are going to hold it up to. That's what I got. On an unrelated note, should the Twitter poll be finished right about now?
Oh, yes, I just checked, actually.
Okay.
And the Twitter poll has its final results at 88 votes, coming in at number one with 38%. The horror movies that would make a fantastic high school play, the winner goes to Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's probably the most fun one of the options, all things considered. Second place and third place, pretty close, but second goes to Hellraiser, which would be like you bring in Drama Club, have some nice chats, some awkward skinless sex scenes, but other than that, goes pretty well, I think.
Sounds like the sort of thing that you'd be into, personally.
I would love to be in the Hellraiser high school play, but next one is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm already in Texas, and I've already got chainsaws, just one step to go. And coming in at a...
What character would you play, by the way? Real quick. In that version, in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre school play.
The one in the wheelchair.
Okay.
I got a spare wheelchair. Fuck it. Just work with what you have. So, coming in at a mere 16%, still a respectable last place, Cannibal Holocaust. I'm the only one who really, really, really wanted to see the look on those parents' faces. Though we got the comments saying, personally, what about like Nightmare on Elm Street? Like, go with me on this. Use really old school theater tricks, Pepper's Ghost tricks, some cool Phantom-like stuff. Get the face through the wall trick in the original movie, but like just so much with all those movies. If they don't want blood. Pull a Sweeney Todd and use red scarves and ribbons. Darn it, let kids have fun doing cool plays and not boring crap stuff like in my day.
Real quick, Motorcycle US dropped $2. He said he was hired for a different job, got shoved into Pusher, kept the money. Okay, that makes sense.
Intellipus is saying, Holocaust. Just watch the parents lose their goddamn minds. Jimt says Fifth Element would be fun. Can't wait to see the the special effects in the gym. And Reggie says the original Hellraiser already feels kind of like a place that would be easiest to do. Chad Blast says maybe my next review should be of the Alien play. And Horsey McHorseface says Carrie, Psycho, Alien, and Pretty Woman.
Okay, it's Cannibal Holocaust versus Pretty Woman. Both are just as likely to cause parents to shit their pants.
Oh god. There we go. Okay. Whew. I'm just trying to get everything all together. Jacobs Kennedy 2002 says you forgot Mark Hamill's Joker creepy. He said that over on Twitch.
Yes. Same thing with there. Yeah.
But yeah, who would be a good voice actor for Chucky is still a question. Like, that's the whole thing. They're looking for a new voice actor for Chucky, and they want it to be a big name actor. For some reason, they're not going with the original. I think it's because of the remake, and they're like, fuck it, we're remaking it. So,
I don't know if we got Ngonyama 70. Like, if he just did Chibi-Thulu's high-pitched, squeaky voice for Chucky.
I would camp out for 3 weeks to see that day one. And they'd still release it 2 days earlier in the UK, and I'd be angry, but... Okay.
Oh, wait. Have you forgotten? Okay, Brianna Robert said, please Howl, Decker, and Creepy for me and the werewolves.
But I'm not a werewolf. I'm a Decker.
Come on. Nah. You've got the facial hair for it at the very least. At least if you were starring in Big Wolf on Campus. So.
But I don't got the teeth, like, at all.
Yeah, but pretty soon you'll be able to get, fake ones put in, and those can just be your regular teeth. Howl. The fans demand it. In 3, and turn off your damn phone.
No.
Or
I'm just gonna do the doggy bow woo.
Or at least mute it. In 3.
Bow woo.
For real. In 3, 2, 1.
Show off.
Lung capacity, very important.
But
So glad I didn't take up smoking in high school. But the other thing I was going to say is, I had a second Twitter poll.
Oh yes.
Okay, so go to Twitter and do your Twitter magic and spend several minutes talking and swearing at the screen, because things aren't working right.
Okay, and this poll is... I can't just write it, I need to know what it is.
What school play production of a horror movie, which horror movie school production play should Decker star in?
What the... what? I'm not doing this poll.
Yes.
No, I'm not. I'm going back to the live control room and look at the chat.
What how do you all feel? Should we do this poll? Like, what high school production based on a horror movie should Decker star in?
I do.
Number 1, Graveyard Shift. Number 2, the Twilight Zone, the movie. Number 3, Predator. And number 4, Candle Cove.
Well, John Washburn already said Predator. Goji Thriller 83 says Stephen Bloom as Chucky. That'd be good. Zell Strike says Bill Skarsgård as Chucky. That would work. Oh, John Washburn says he already has the hair in reference to the Predator thing. So, yeah, I guess I'd be the Predator in Predator.
You're not making the poll. Make the poll.
I don't want to make the poll.
Why not?
Because the poll is evil. Okay. Of course,
I
I'm not fun.
My feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
Forgot who I was talking to.
Okay. Now there is a little more stuff going on with some news involving like stage shows and horror movies and classics. Yes, open the frickin' window. Thank you very much.
Brandon Kilgore said Brokeback Mountain.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, Patricia, you're here finally. I'm saved.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I had to do a couple of things. So, what have you guys been up to? What have you guys been?
I've been struggling. I really screwed up starting the stream, but hey, we're streaming. Yeah.
Hey, we're starting, and oh, look at that! I'm just in time for the Beetlejuice news. Nice. So, who gets to read this one? I guess I'll read it because I just got here.
Yeah. That works.
The musical. Ha! Reference.
Okay. Ghosts, demons, life coaches, and even a Girl Scout has taken over Broadway as Beetlejuice haunts the Winter Garden Theater beginning March 28th. Ahead of the new musical main stem bow, the stars chatted with Playbill to discuss the thrills and creepy. More creepy. Yes. And here we go. To discuss the thrills, chills, jokes, and heart and humor in store for audiences. This might be the most fun I've had on stage, admits Alex Brightman, who takes on the title role of the bio-exorcist demon. This is a show that does not exist on Broadway, and it hasn't existed because in its nature, it's truly absurd. What makes the iconic horror comedy a natural fit for the Great White Way? Tim Burton was so visual and bold and dramatic with the film, and I think it translates well onto the stage, says Sophia Ann Caruso, starring along Brightman as Lydia. The stage adaptation, penned by composer Eddie Perfect, which, of course, and book writer Scott Brown and Anthony King, focuses on Beetlejuice and Lydia and their paradoxical fascinations with life and death, respectively. Caruso continues, there are two really great protagonists. They make a really good pair. Burton diehards will get the antics of the film, from wacky sculptors to underworld receptionists. Audiences will get magic and ghosts and all these mystical things, promises Leslie Kritzer, the musical's Delia Dietz. It's waiting to be musicalized and also bring it heart and love. The team brought so much more into it. There's more. Okay, Tony nominee Rob McClure concurs as he steps into Alec Baldwin's shoes to play new to the afterlife Adam. Fans of the film are going to get everything they crave, just not in the way they expect to get it. Beyond a set that's a character of its own and a bevy of practical effects, Brightman pinpoints one reason Beetlejuice is a can't-miss spring offering. There is a performance by Sophia Ann Caruso that you are literally not going to want to miss. It's a star-making performance, and you can get to the theater and go, I remember when I saw the second she became world famous. Beetlejuice director Alex Timbers also features Carrie Butler, Adam Danheiser, Jill Abramoffitz, I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, Kelvin Moonlow, Danny Rutigliano, and Dana Steingold. Opening night is set for April 25th.
All right.
And believe it or not, I actually knew about this Beetlejuice play about, I would say, if I were to remember, I think it was about like 2 years ago. I actually did know about this because the person who is a part of this, Alex Brightman, he was one of the producers and one of the people behind the Mark Summers one-man stage performance that was exclusive in Indiana. And they also worked on the documentary On Your Mark alongside with Matthew Klickstein, whom fans of Decker who've known for a long time. He was also the same guy who wrote one of Steven Seagal's movies. I think it was Against the Dark. So,
I think that he actually commented a bit on the.
Yes, he did actually. Funny story about that. So I was the one who actually recommended to Decker to check out Against the Dark because I knew the guy who wrote it, because he was the same guy who wrote the Slimed and Oral History of Nickelodeon's Golden Age book. Who I actually was the very first person to interview him about that book before anybody else. So long story short, I brought up the attention to Decker when I knew he was going to be doing the Summer of Steven Seagal, and I, said, "Hey, Decker, did you know that Steven Seagal was in a horror movie?" And he's like, "What? I want to do this." And so then when he posted it, Matthew himself said, "Wow, there is nobody ever has, talked about Against the Dark, and you were hilarious and you were insightful." And then he discusses about like the story behind it, like they wanted to do a story that was similar to I Am Legend or something, and then there was like some things that they added in or whatever, but I think that he was like involved with like some parts of the writing, but they did give him like the full credit, and I think that that's pretty much it as far as like his writing is concerned. But he has written for other books. He recently has written a Simpsons book alongside with Mike Reese, who is one of the writers, and he is planning on writing another book, which is coming out in June, which I'm sure he'll make an announcement of really soon. So yeah, I actually knew about this musical a few years before it was even announced to anybody else. So it was kind of funny to finally see that in fruition.
Excellent. Yeah. Actually, Beetlejuice is a kind of movie that I can see on Broadway. It has that surreal blend of over-the-top comedy and not scary horror, but more creepy horror, like the kind that's just sort of, that feeling of unease that can kind of build up slowly over time.
Dale.
Yeah.
Dale.
Daylight come and me one go home. Yes, love it.
If that is not a musical number in this play, I will be very disappointed.
Or Jump on the Line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you. Yes, I want to see that. I want to see a full-fledged production with Lydia and all the dead football players just dancing to it, and everything just moving. Maybe like some appliances like flying and like toward the audience or something like that. And I want to see that. I want to see
faces and her mother's sculptures dancing as well, coming to life, dancing around.
Absolutely. It's kind of funny the way that they're describing this play, because
on Twitch,
go ahead.
On Twitch, Anthony Watson124 says, "Hi Patricia, how are you?"
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm sorry I'm late because I was in the middle of a bit of work, so I was able to get back as soon as I could. But thank you. I'm doing well. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it's actually interesting about how they're describing this musical with Beetlejuice and Lydia. It sounds a little bit more along the lines of the animated series, because in the movie, Lydia only interacted with Beetlejuice when she found out that Adam and his wife were like going to be turned into like these kind of ghoulish creatures, and she agreed to marry Beetlejuice. Mm-hmm. So, with them coming together, it sounds more like the animated series.
Right. I was thinking of that too, because when it always was kind of strange to me, because Lydia and Beetlejuice in the movie didn't interact all that much.
They didn't.
I think there was like one scene before that where she talked with him briefly, and they actually had this really emotional, but also a little bit uncomfortable conversation where she was talking about committing suicide because she wanted to be a ghost. She thought it would be better for her if she was a ghost, because she could have I forget their last name, but Adam and his wife as more like her parents instead of her actual parents, and she could pal around with Beetlejuice, who at the time she didn't really know that much about. So, but mainly it was just she didn't have, there was not a lot of interaction between Beetlejuice and her, which is strange if you really think about it, because those are the two characters that you think of when you think of Beetlejuice. You think of Lydia Dietz and you think of Beetlejuice, but
sure.
I was just confused in the animated series. Where in the hell she got that Spider-Man poncho?
Your guess is as good as, I guess Beetlejuice gave it to her, because she dresses in her usual gray attire when she's in the boarding school, and then when Beetlejuice comes along, boom, there you go, Spider-Man poncho.
I was confused about that too. I remember wait, okay, she's dressed like this, and now she's dressed like this. Like, does going to the is going to the neither world like going to the digital world? You automatically get a new wardrobe when you pass through or something? Like,
Oh, geez, yeah. Sword Art Online, Reboot, Code Lyoko, Dot Hack. I mean, all of those
Matrix.
things. Matrix, sure. All of that, yeah.
But
Like,
yeah,
logic.
There's this, it was just always a little strange to me that they didn't, because I didn't see the movie in theaters. I saw it on VHS, and I had already heard a bunch about it. But then, it always struck me as kind of weird that these two don't really, click together at any point. So, that is an interesting take on it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is very interesting.
I just always remember the one episode of the animated series where Beetlejuice lost his feet because he pissed his feet off, so his feet left. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm just realizing now how much I need my feet because I can't trip people." And I'm just like, "Dude, just lean in more."
You could walk with your hands.
Well, like, wait, you're a ghost. Why can't you just levitate?
Exactly. Yes.
I remember the episode where the neither world went through this weird phase where they were giving away awards for everything. Like it was like video game awards. They gave away awards. This episode was the precursor to video game award achievements. Okay.
Oh, beautiful.
But
Nice.
like throughout the entire episode, Beetlejuice cannot, for the life of him or death of him, win an award for anything. Like he does everything in his power to, and it is driving him literally batshit insane. It's like this whole episode is him is descent into madness for him over frustration at not being able to do this. And finally, at the end of the episode, Lydia gives him an award that she made herself for being a good friend to her. And then he finds out that the entire neither world came together and unanimously decided to award him with the most hated person in the neither world award. So he is in front of, on this stage, behind a podium where people are throwing shit at him and booing. And he's like, "You hate me. You really hate me."
Yes, we need to get that Sally Field, award speech, because pretty much everybody was doing it in the late 80s and 90s.
Right.
I see a lot of comments of people talking about like the high school musicals based off of Matrix and such. I take it that you already talked about the Alien high school high school play performance, right?
Oh yeah, I talked about the Alien one. Had a Twitter poll talking about what would be a good high school horror, a horror movie made high school musical. Killer Clowns from Outer Space won, and it seemed not nearly as many people wanted to see Cannibal Holocaust performed by high school students.
Bummer.
Yeah.
I thought I was an influencer. I guess not.
It's kind of funny, speaking about like musicals based off of like crazy movie ideas. There was a great episode of Bob's Burgers where one of the characters wanted to make a musical based off of Die Hard, and the way that it's presented is actually pretty feasible. It's actually pretty hilarious. And in the mix-up, there's also this girl who wants to do a musical based off of what was it? Now I remember. It was based off of a 1980s, movie based with, a bunch of people who are like getting jobs in New York City, and I think Harrison Ford was in it. I'll have to look it up, but yeah, I think that with a concept of like musicals based off of movies that you would never think of in a million years. It actually is pretty interesting. It's like I've seen the pictures and I've seen I've seen like a clip of the video of the Alien production, and it's actually pretty good. The one that was really impressed of was the Alien itself. Like these kids were able to like pull together something that even Sigourney Weaver was impressed with it. She thought it looked real. And I believe that Ridley Scott even sent the high school, music, production teacher a letter saying that, he was really impressed and he wanted to give the students a huge congratulations, which that just goes to show you about how interesting that it turned out to be. A Working Girl. That's what the movie
it
was.
sounded
Working
like
Girl.
Working Girl, but I was like,
Yeah, it is Working Girl. Now I remember. It is Working Girl.
Real quick, John Washburn said, as long as they don't start talking about Galaxy High, everything will be A-okay. So let's start talking about Galaxy High.
Sure. It's
Also, Terry Ham dropped $2 saying, "I love you guys. Have some more text shells."
Thank you so much. Yeah, sure. Galaxy High. It was that one cartoon from the 80s about like a bunch of kids who go to outer space.
There are two of them, a jock and a nerd. Like the high school jock and a girl who's kind of like the what the 80s thought of nerds are selected to be transfer students to Galaxy High, which is a high school located on an asteroid in space where alien teenagers from different planets can come together and get to know one another. It's kind of like international high school, but in space. And like once they get there, the I forget her name, but the female character got a full scholarship because her grades were so good. The jock, whose grades were pretty bad, had to work in the school's cafeteria to pay for his tuition. So, and Amy was her name.
Okay.
Amy and Doyle. Amy ended up becoming like the most popular girl in school, while Doyle, whose best sport was football, which no one at Galaxy High has ever heard of, everyone just thought he was kind of a dick and a loser. So basically, they basically ended up trading roles once they got to Galaxy High. I think it was supposed to be like a metaphor for people who get out of high school and out of the social clique that they're crammed into, and then they're able to be themselves and be more open socially. Which
John Washburn says, babysitting my little sister back in the day and was forced to watch that with her on Saturdays.
I am so sorry.
Yeah,
worse.
The toddlers, my fiance's nephew seems to his favorite movie ever, The Grinch.
Which one?
Second favorite is Elf.
Oh. Ouch.
Whew. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, it could like Christmas with the Cranks. That's bad. Ink Gleeful says Lloyd in space. Yeah, it's kind of like Lloyd in space, where you have a bunch of kids going to school in space, except that the difference is that I think they were like actual kids, while Lloyd in space was about aliens.
Right. Also,
yeah, go ahead.
John Souza said Martin Mystery musical. Decker, I think that should be his thing. I actually remember Martin Mystery.
Yeah, so did I. It was kind of like it's kind of funny because shows like that and the X's and the Replacements and various others, they were trying to like cash in on The Incredibles in terms of like, hey, we have a family and they do cool super heroic things together. Let's see if we can do that. Or they were trying to be like Johnny Quest, in which they're a family of spies or secret agents, like spy kids. Let's see if we can do that. So yeah, I can see a musical based off of that.
John Washburn is asking, which Grinch version? One is very cringy, and I'm thinking like after 800 times, does it really matter?
But Marvin Mystery, I mean, you have like a bunch of kids and they, just, basically are like secret agents, I suppose. So I can see a musical based off that. Why not? James Bond the musical, sure. You have €4.99 from Prunes.
Those are pounds.
Can. Oh, pounds, yeah. Prunes in a Can, who says, "Hi guys, keep up the good work. Decker, could you review Big Trouble in Little China or any other Kurt Russell films?"
Yeah, I really need to do more Kurt Russell because I do tend to enjoy the movies that he's in. And, it tends to 80s, 90s action. Yeah, I wonder why I like it. So, but also, Anthony Watson says Decker should have his next review as a musical.
Ooh, yeah.
I still need to figure out how in the hell to do that with Repo. But yeah.
I'm sure that we can. And in the apocalypse, you remember that was we talked about this a few months ago. That was a zombie movie that takes place around Christmas, and it's a musical. Put that on your list.
I was actually worried for a second there. Like, did something happen?
Okay, Jacob Kennedy 2002 on Twitch is saying beer, and I'm like, wait, what? What?
I want to see Decker review Christmas with the Cranks now.
Oh God, no!
Why do Christmas? I just want jingle bells and the fucking machine guns. That's what I want. Okay.
Well, there's plenty of them. There's let's see, there's Reindeer Games, which is action movie
No.
with Ben Affleck, which sucks.
I think when I'm watching Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and there's an argument between Ben Affleck and Jason Bourne.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think.
Dude, man, what the hell's your name? Well, they're arguing back and forth about which kind of movies you should do in which order to preserve your career and be able to make money and still do artsy stuff on the side. And it comes back, well, sometimes you do Reindeer Games. So, well, you see, that's just mean. Oh, man.
Now everybody wants you to do Jingle All the Way. I get it. Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. Oh, that'll be fun.
Matt Damon, yes. Matt Damon. That's who I was thinking of.
Okay, Matt Damon. All right.
I would say that at the very least, Decker would be able to remix Put That Cookie Down, but someone has already done it.
Oh, yeah, I can't possibly out-remix the remixes if I put that cookie. Well, I mean, it's possible, but it's going to take a long-ass time. More time than I'm willing to put into it.
And you still have, what's it fucking sign? To your name.
Oh, God. But, yes, there's also, what the hell was the thing that was... I was looking at all the things. There was also the new trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters. People have asked many, many times before, Creepy, have you seen the trailer? Have you seen Mothra in the trailer? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Masuda, yeah, Masuda.
Now, I did not see the twins in the trailer.
That is just...
You know that they almost never let you see the good stuff in the trailer. I mean, they'll show, like, the monsters attacking the city and the people reacting to it, but I'm sure that the twins will be coming in a little later or something. Wouldn't be surprised.
I'm wondering if they're going to have the twins, the Mothra twins, like, actually there, or just kind of referenced in a side thing in the background. There's two twins walking down the street that way, and they're dressed kind of like the twins were in the previous Mothra movies, and they're like, there's the twins in the movie, getting some McDonald's.
They're not going to be, like, this tall anymore?
Now, they're just going to be really far in the background, so they look small.
Well, how about this, Decker, since this hasn't come up? Do you think there will be a Japanese man being attacked by tentacles in this version?
Does it have to be a Japanese man?
Yes, it's tradition. Don't you remember the first movie?
Yes, but, I mean, you can just mix things up a bit. This is a legendary version, which is an American style. You're going to be attacked by eagles.
Sure. Why not? I got the article already posted, so let me just get to it. So, let me just click share. Yes, I want to do the entire screen. All right, here we go. Okay, new trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters. So let me just scroll down so we don't get copyrighted. Okay. Godzilla may be one of the most famous movie monsters. Oh, wait. I already read. Somebody else do it. I'm sorry.
Godzilla might be one of the most famous movie monsters of all time, but there are plenty of other incredible creatures in this long-running franchise. King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra are all classic monsters from Japanese Godzilla movies, and, well, also from their own movies. And they will make their Hollywood debut this summer in Godzilla King of the Monsters. A new trailer has been released. The latest promo features loads of new footage. It opens with some stunning shots of three-headed King Ghidorah, the winged Rodan, and moth-like Mothra. The trailer reveals that scientists from monster tracking agency Monarch plan to set Godzilla free from his aquatic prison to fight these giant threats. As one character says, it's a good thing he's on our side. I missed that part of the first movie. The movie looks absolutely stunning. Check this trailer out above. Godzilla King of the Monsters is directed by Michael Dougherty, whose previous credits include the Christmas monster movie Krampus. It stars Vera Farmiga, Kyle Chandler, and Millie Bobby Brown, plus Sally Hawkins, Ken Watanabe, and O'Shea Jackson Jr. It hits theaters in May 31st, 2019. For more, check out everything we know about Godzilla King of the Monsters plus the recent trailer. In his interview with Collider, Dougherty spoke about how this movie will differ from its predecessor, Gareth Edwards' 2014 hit Godzilla. Well, I already figured from the opening paragraph. I hesitate to say it, but I would call it the Aliens to Gareth's Alien, he said. So, it's a bit more of an ensemble film. The first movie was really about Brody's character kind of weaving his way through that adventure, and Monarch kind of was the backdrop for that. Here, Monarch is the focus, because I find that concept really fascinating. The idea that there's a secret agency that tracks giant monsters, that is a dream come true for me, too. I think if the government said to me, tomorrow you have to fake your own death and abandon everyone you know to go hunting the paranormal, I would be gone in a heartbeat, because I'd die of a heart attack.
We have a $2 comment from Terry Ham who says, Decker looks true cold AF, then again, I'm drunk, LOL.
I can tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another $2 comment from Motorcycle US, us, says, creepy, what think of Brave Star Ep with Dead Kid?
I would have to go back and watch it. I have not watched Brave Star in a very long time. Like, since 89, 90, I think I caught a rerun of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would like to be able to answer that question a little more thoroughly, but again, I have not seen the episode in a very long time, so unfortunately I can't really say much, but I do remember Brave Star, though. I do remember that. You know, that was the one with the ambiguously brown outer space cowboy sheriff with like animal superpowers.
Okay, starting any sentence with ambiguously to send my mind in the wrong direction. But also, Jacob Kennedy 2002 over on Twitch says, Crush 40 is back after 11 years. God, I'm old.
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't heard of that band in ages. Like, wow, Crush 40.
And according to Robotech Fan, everybody's drunk. Everybody's drunk.
Ah. Well, that explains it.
What was that? Who said what? I missed something. God damn it. Okay. Daniel DB631 says, Decker's not drunk. His hair is. And Terry Ham says, True Cult means metalhead. He rocks the hair.
Oh, okay. I see.
Now, Patricia doesn't have hair. Patricia is just that little icon circle that vibrates when it makes sound.
Yeah. I do have hair, actually. If you see my icon, I do have hair. The one on the left is Kevin, not me.
Patricia is the voice. She is everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My camera is broken. It works for Skype, but for some reason, and no matter how much I try, it will not work for Google Hangout. I have no idea why. I just hope that I can get it fixed. I hope. So.
And Chaos Chronicler says, I heard Robotech. Why we talking Robotech? And that's because the one guy up there who commented is called Robotech Fan.
Yeah, right. So I guess let's see what we can talk about.
John Washburn says, the summer of Patricia's new webcam.
Yes, that'll be fantastic. Week 1, you can see me try to put it together. Week 2, I'm trying to make sure that it functions normally. Week 3, I have my first live stream. Week 4, it breaks. Week 5, I scream and cry. Week 6, I go buy a new one. Week 7, I put it together. Week 8, I have it fixed again. But the plot twist was that my old one was working to begin with, and I just completely wasted my whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
All right. So, yeah, I'm. Let's see what else can we discuss about. What else did you guys cover while I was gone?
Let's see. We covered the Article 13 bullshit. We covered. Yeah. We covered. Well, you were here. You were here for the Mothra stuff. Let me think.
Yeah.
We actually covered briefly the new voice of Chucky. I actually.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I knew you were gonna read that one. I knew it.
Yeah, I actually recommended Ngonyama to do the voice of Chucky and just do his squeaky Chibi Thulu voice.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What can we cover now that we got those out of the way? It's, now while we're actually talking about Alien, saying like this is the aliens of Godzilla, and you guys discussed about the alien play. I want to actually talk about this thing that I just found this morning about the Alien versus Predator saga was almost resolved over a game of football by AV News. I actually want to bring this up because I found it to be so hilarious. So, let's see. Yeah, I know. Okay, here we go. Creepy, why don't you read this one?
Thank you. The Aliens versus Predators argument was almost settled over a game of football. Those wacky aliens and predators sure love fighting each other. Neither content with starring in their own, often very good films.
Sorry.
Okay.
The two murderous extraterrestrial species have knocked heads in comics, games, and movies, the last of which are so bad even Sigourney Ripley Weaver herself found their existence depressing.
Which there isn't a link to in the article, which I'm probably sure we'll look at later.
Right. Having battled across the stars for decades, neither side is winning a true victory over the other. Audiences have had to contend themselves with the war between the two creatures going on forever. That wouldn't be the case, however, if in a fit of 90s Aliens versus Predator mania, the saga was brought to an end in the only way it reasonably could have: a 16-bit game of pigskin.
So this is going to be like Mutant League Football, except with Alien versus Predator. I would buy the shit out of that.
I am stunned that this game was not released. As tweeted out by the National Video Game Museum, this cosmos-rending matchup was supposed to take place in a Sega Genesis game with a perfect name: Cosmic Hardball.
That is so 90s. It hurts.
That is the best name ever! According to translated scans of the original pitch mock-ups, the game's premise saw humanity having neutralized the 400-plus year war between aliens and predators, but seeking to finalize the conflict by American football on Earth. The Alien Football League and the Predator Football League were born, and fierce battles engaged for the Super Bowl title, the copy continues. There was only one new rule: the quarterback must be human. Well, duh. Huh?
Oh, good. So we can see them die. Obviously, with the quarterback, I guess the quarterback would be human. So if the quarterback, would hike the ball, or maybe would try to run the ball over towards the end zone, then if you're playing either as an alien or a predator, you get to kill them. Again, like Mutant League Football for the Sega Genesis, I suppose.
But
I would make a guess.
Why? You could have Mutant League Football had aliens that were very much based on the xenomorphs, and they could be quarterbacks.
I don't know.
The documents don't include many other details from this tragically unmade concept, but we do learn that Alien Football League includes teams like the Chicago Dirty Heroes and Los Angeles Blade Runners, and has a bizarre tagline that reads, My mom is the team owner. I crave some fresh human quarterback. Okay.
Okay.
The Predators.
Are they coming on to you?
The Predators League hosts the New York Psychic Monsters and the Miami Dolphin Creatures. Its motto is, Chieftain is the team owner. I will turn you into a fully grown quarterback warrior.
Okay.
The above image of an alien ready to grab a football either with taloned hands or the surprised jet of its phallic nightmare tongue is an almost cruel taste of what could have been. Looking at his dumb little jersey, the imagination runs wild with chest-burster impregnated footballs and losing Predator teams laughing before blowing up the stadium. It makes one wonder if it might have been better not to know such a thing was possible in the first place.
All right, so let's take a look at these pictures while we're on the topic. So let's see. Here we go. Cosmic Hardballs. So you want a Genesis game with real impact. Sega!
What was it?
Ooh. 802702. Alien Predator Super Game. If anybody can read Japanese, please let us know what this says. Okay, next one.
I know a couple of letters.
Okay. Okay, so from the looks of it, with A, B, C, D, maybe it would have been played for. Maybe you could have played in like all around the North America, I guess.
Yeah, they just kind of skip over Canada and go straight to
Alaska. So yeah, sorry Canadians, we're not. I guess if that were to be the case, then Alien versus Predator hockey would have been a thing.
So we're intergalactic species coming to this rock to play this game. Where this piece of land right here, this one in particular.
All right, let's see what's next. Okay, we got some more information about the Predator. I'm sure that there's.
I like his little man bun.
Yeah, with his little man bun. Okay, there's that. That's the end of that one. So, yeah, as said on the National Video Game Museum Twitter, we unearthed these concepts for a cancel Alien vs. Predator football game for the Sega Genesis, and you have to see it to believe it. In Cosmic Hardball, the aliens and predators would settle their conflict through, yes, American football. It's beautiful.
Epic Jason X9000 says Alien cheerleaders. And I remember the halftime show was comprised entirely of aliens in Mutant League football. But while the halftime show was going on, you could throw explosive footballs at them. And if you killed all of the halftime show, a message would flash on screen, new band tryouts Monday.
Yeah, it's just a shame that this never got released. I know that there was the Alien versus Predator game for the Jaguar, but
there was one for the Genesis and the SNES, I want to say, too. There was an Alien versus Predator game for the
I know there was the AVP arcade game, and I want to say that came to Super Nintendo, but I don't know if it came to Genesis. I don't know. I can't remember anything major in the AVP realm for Genesis. But I did play the Jaguar AVP, strangely enough.
All right. So this one is I was actually looking into for Creepy because a while ago Creepy did do the Garfield retrospective, and I just so happened to find something Garfield related. No, if you're wondering, it's not about the Garfield phones that got washed up in a French beach. But because I just found out about it at the last minute, it's actually a Garfield-themed all-you-can-eat buffet debuting in Toronto, and it'll only be opened on Mondays, because of course it will.
God dang it.
Yeah. So you see, Canadians, you got something. I mean, technically we didn't get the game, but I mean, even though that if the circuit wouldn't have been featured in Canada for aliens and predators to play football, at least you got Garfield. That's something. All right, go ahead, Creepy.
When I was a youngster, I made the fatal mistake of telling a few relatives that how much I enjoyed Garfield the cat. Every holiday and birthday after that, I was inundated with Garfield books, notebooks, TV shirts, and stuffed animals. I was positive Garfield would eventually be etched onto my tombstone.
Here lies, what's his name? Here lies Gwen, Garfield fanatic. Sure.
I was positive. Okay, my love for the grumpy, lasagna-loving, Monday-hating cat has since abated, leaving even a former Garfield fan like me flummoxed as to who the target audience would possibly be for this new venture. Blog2 proudly announces that Toronto is getting North America's first Garfield-themed restaurant, a quick mobile restaurant called Garfield Eats. The restaurant will apparently be focused on delivery via the Garfield Eats app for the loungy couch potato Garfield types among us. The app-based mobile restaurant is already operating in Dubai.
It should have been Abu Dhabi. Anybody gets that reference, you get a high five from me.
I totally got it, of course. Where drivers deliver orders for free in environmentally friendly packaging while riding on green electric Garfield scooters. Okay. Menu items include Garfield-shaped pizzas and cookies, different flavors of
Garfuccino,
coffees, and fruit juices, and of course, lasagna.
And Robotech fan says, "Hey, into 250,000 guys."
Okay. They don't tell you what 250,000. It could be 250,000 cupcakes. Or...
No, it says right there, $250,000. You could use it to purchase a dream home. Why not?
Oh, nice.
I don't know. It's right there on the left.
While the quick mobile establishment will not be the same as a ghost restaurant, there will be a physical store in Toronto. It will have mobile phones on the walls for guests to order from instead of cashiers. You'll also be able to play some augmented reality Garfield games while you wait for your food.
Oh, because that's always fun in the theater when I'm waiting for the damn movie.
Yeah, exactly. It'd probably be like Garfield's Q&A that only Garfield nerds would know about. It's like, in this issue of Garfield that was released in 1979, what did Garfield say to John regarding this thing? And you'll be like,
What the hell? A woman calls 911 on her undercooked chicken guy? Like, she called 911 against the food? Like, the food is attacking me with it's not being done.
I also love the article. YouTuber sends Big Mac to space and then eats it.
Well, don't waste it. Jeez.
So, this enterprise appears to be going past cat-shaped food to offer an immersive Garfield experience. The busy website bills itself as intergaging, i.e. part entertainment, part information. Why not infotaining? Via the Garfield Eats app, you will be able to watch, play, order, read, collect, redeem, and track, manage, chat, and share, and much, much more. To fill that current Garfield-shaped hole in your life. I don't think I have one of those.
Yeah.
I have the specials. That part of me feels complete.
Yes, and don't be surprised if you get bombarded with requests saying, "Creepy, you haven't done the movies yet."
Well, now it's going to appear in the chat. Thank you.
You're welcome, by the way.
That's a lot of activity for a cat mostly known for his laziness. They're not wrong on that front. It's still unclear why the Garfield Eats creators launched on a 40-year-old cartoon character to anchor their intergaging quick mobile restaurant plan. Can an online Heathcliff snack bar be far behind? Actually, that's an interesting question, too.
Yeah, that is a very interesting question.
I was never I was more of a Garfield fan than I was a Heathcliff fan, but more in the sense that I liked the Garfield specials and the Garfield and Friends Saturday morning show. As far as the Heathcliff comics, I actually did think they were pretty funny, but they weren't as readily available. So it was more just I couldn't read them as much as I would like to.
That's true.
I just constantly wanted food. It was not a good time when I'm young, hungry, and here's this cat eating a whole plate of lasagna. I'm like, torture.
Yeah. Well, yeah, again, I'm sorry. If you guys wanted us to cover the Garfield phones that were washed up in a beach in France, then I'm sorry. I didn't have the time to get that together. I was able to find like too many other articles to cover anyway, so yeah,
Like
sorry.
Garfield phones, like the old little with
Yeah,
the.
the old 1980s Garfield phones were washed up in a beach in France. Apparently, it's been doing that for like 30 years. And they were wondering why. There were some rumors going around like a ship that was distributing the Garfield phones over to a port, it like sunk or something, and then the phones have been washing up ever since. So I think there's more explanation on why it's been happening, but I didn't get a full read on it when I first discovered it again at the last minute. I was gonna, but what you gonna do? All right,
Oh
so
boy, Zart Leader 97 says, I haven't had actual dinner today. Now I'm really starving. Like Decker.
I do want to say real quick, I've got some bad weather coming my way. It's thundering outside right now. I may have to cut this short because,
okay.
I'm saying like lightning just struck outside.
We heard that.
Yes, we did hear that, by the way.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it came through on the microphone, but yeah, that's what that was. So yeah, I've got thunder, I've got lightning over here, so I might have to power down. So I apologize in advance to everyone.
It's okay.
Everyone watching, Patricia, leaving you here with Decker.
Don't worry, I'll take it from here.
Yeah, but I'll stick it out for a minute more if I can. Let's go to the.
Both Wine says they heard the thunder, and Jacob Kennedy 2002 says they can hear it from space.
They hear it from space while they're enjoying their Big Macs. All right.
Dang! My little light is run out of little battery. I don't have 2 hours, and now it's like it's a couple of seconds, and then it just turns off. I'm like, I needed the face light because other than that, it's just dark and depressing.
So sorry. Well, speaking of dark and depressing, it's funny because I actually did find an article regarding about Steven Seagal.
Yes. I don't think we've actually covered that one yet.
Yes. Originally, it was for a different article because a while ago on Live and Wired, we talked about celebrities and the books they have written. And Steven Seagal did write a book, and we decided not to cover it because it covered some very controversial things. So we decided instead, and thank you so much to Steven Seagal for pumping out action movies like crazy, like he always does, so we can stay relevant. There is actually a upcoming Steven Seagal action movie because of course it is. So this one's called General Commander, and if there's a trailer in the description if you want to look into it.
Like, I actually thought that was a movie title.
Yeah, that's the if you're coming up with a fake movie starring Seagal, this is what you would think of.
Yes, General Commander. It was originally like a placeholder, and they were like, "Okay, Steven, what should be the name of the movie now that we got the script finished?" It's like, "Oh no, let's keep it, let's keep it the way it is." It's like, well, okay, fine, General Commander, sure. Genius.
I like General Commander. It's straight and to the point.
Sure. Straight and to the point. Yes, let's give that excuse. Okay.
I am very sorry, but yeah, that last one was pretty damn close. So.
Daniel TV 631 says, "I imagine a Steven Seagal book would mostly talk about how he wrote a book."
It's not, by the way. It's not.
That would be nice, though.
It would be nice. It would actually be a lot less controversial.
Right.
Possibly entertaining.
Yeah. I would read it ironically. Maybe I'll do a live stream of me reading it chapter by chapter. But considering that when I first saw what some poor soul who actually read the book and did a review of it, talking about what it was about, I was like, nope, I don't want to touch it anymore. No. And yes, Josh Washburn is correct. The book is called The Way of the Shadow Wolves. Okay. So, yeah, go ahead, Decker. Tell us about this genius that is the General Commander.
The General Commander trailer teases Steven Seagal's latest action vehicle. Seagal, of course, rose to prominence in Hollywood after making his acting debut in 1988, appearing in successful films such as Hard to Kill and Under Siege. After headlining 2001's Exit Wounds, Seagal's career largely shifted to starring in direct-to-video endeavors, and he's since added dozens of credits to his resume. Despite his advancing age, Seagal is now 66, the actor remains as busy as he's ever been. He was in 5 films released in 2016, and another 2 in 2017. Next up for Seagal is General Commander, which sees him portray CIA agent Jake Alexander, who takes it upon himself to extract revenge against a mob boss that killed a member of his team. The cast also includes the likes of Sonia Cooling and Byron Gibson. General Commander will soon be available to own on Blu-ray and on demand, meaning it's time to rev up the marketing campaign. Action fans can check out the trailer now.
Are you describing a new Steven Seagal movie or every other Steven Seagal movie?
It's a Seagal movie. It's, if you've seen Seagal, and he's there. They talk about stuff, and he's like, I'm like really skilled at everything, and you can't even understand because it's like godly. And then it's like, and stuff going on. And then it's like young and like strong looking motherfucker with a knife, and then Seagal with a knife, and Seagal's like barely fucking moving, doing the knife fight thing. Like, yeah, I'm just kicking this guy's ass without even trying.
Yeah.
Just a couple little slap, stab, punch. Okay, we're done.
Right. I unfortunately have to go because it's gotten even worse. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
I still have the connection. I apologize to everyone listening in for having to duck out early. I am very, very sorry.
It's okay. Right before you go, I just want to give you a congrats for reaching 10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I did see your tweet, by the way. I think I retweeted it. I want to say I did.
Okay.
But thank you very much. And thank you all for tuning in and for sitting through the first 10 minutes or so of Decker cursing at everything. I'll talk to you all. I'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Okay. See you then. Later. All right. So, yes. All right. So now with Creepy gone, since we have like at least another hour or so, let's
not if my fiance has anything to say about it. She has this thing about like spending time together. She likes it. I don't know.
Fair enough. But let's go over to some other bit of news right before we go over to some video game news, because there's a lot that we need to cover, especially with Nintendo. So this one actually, it was very interesting that it just came out just a couple of days ago. But there was an announcement from Jake Busey confirming that there is going to be a TV series based off of Starship Troopers in the works. So I thought that was, interesting to bring up. So let me just pull up the article right here. Here we go. So, no, I don't want to see the Matrix. Okay, there we go.
Aww.
All right, so I am sorry. Okay, here we go. Back in January, Starship Troopers screenwriter Ed Neumiller teased the idea of a Starship Troopers TV series that might bring back the old cast as a sequel of sorts. Today, actor Jake Busey confirmed that this is true, saying, Ed and Casper had been talking about a series, and they both expressed to me that this time they really want me to be a part of it. So I think Casper and I would be older men in the battle, in the war room, in the planning room, or at the helm of a destroyer, but not necessarily boots on the ground. We're old guys now. If you're 45 years old, you're not going to be running around doing the boot camp thing. We'll tell that to Seagal. But yeah, a TV series would be great. Paul how do you pronounce it? Verhoeven, thank you. 1997 Gorefest is one of the most badass science fiction movies out there. The movie delighted me as a young teen with its boobs and blood, and it still holds up today as a killer satire. If you haven't seen it in a few years, make sure to give it a rewatch ASAP and thank me later. I'll be delighted to see a R-rated Starship Troopers series get the green light somewhere like Netflix. How about you? Let us know down below. The original movie followed in the distant future. The Earth is at war with a race of giant alien insects. Little is known about the bugs except that they are intent on eradicating all of human life. But there was a time before the war. A mobile infantry travels to distant alien planets to take on the war to the bugs. They're a ruthless enemy with only one mission: survival of their species, no matter what the cost. The original 97 movie was written by Neumiller, based off of a book by Robert A. Heinlein. That adaptation was directed by Paul Verhoeven. Total Recall, Basic Instinct, Hollow Man, and was produced by John Davison and Alan Marshall. The film starred Casper Van Dyne, Dinah Meyer, Denise Richards, Jake Busey, Neil Patrick Harris, Patrick Muldoon, and Michael Ironside. You can snag a copy of the movie on Blu-ray right here. So, yeah, possible TV series. That should be interesting. I can see a lot of potential with that.
Starship Troopers TV series. There's been a couple of them, I think.
I think there was, from what I remember with the Starship Troopers, there was the sequel, and then there was a few animated adaptations.
Before the movie, there was also there was an animated adaptation of Starship Troopers made in Japan, I think?
Yes, it was Japan. That's correct.
Zart Leader 97, Starship Troopers Roughneck Chronicles, says it was an amazing TV series.
Okay.
I believe that's the one I was talking about, the one that was
right
before the movie, I believe.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a live-action series, so that would be cool. Yeah, it's actually kind of, it was, I can understand that, the characters will be back, but they will not be able to, perform like they did before, being that they're older and all. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it was like a concept similar to like the Ghostbusters video game on the Xbox 360 and PS3, in which they would, maybe train some new soldiers and, have them fight bugs for like a huge battle or something. So that would be kind of interesting.
EDF! EDF!
Yes, EDF. Yes, let's have a movie or TV series adaptation out of EDF. Just guys running around killing bugs. We need to have like incredibly cheesy dialogue. And robots. We need to have robots, of course we do. We need to have robots and bugs throwing cowboys, and it'll be like the perfect show. Because why not? Let's throw everything in there. Let's make it as over the top as possible. All right.
Ooh, neck broken. Okay.
Well, all right. Well, while we're at that point, now I want to actually bring up some video game news. So I'm sure you've been probably hearing about this for quite a while, that Google wants to get into video game.
We discussed that, actually.
Oh, yeah, you did discuss about that. Okay.
We discussed the Stadia stuff. We discussed a little bit about Walmart wanting to...
Yes.
Also, very strangely, like 20 minutes after Stadia is shown off, they're like, by the way, we have the off-brand version available.
And Apple wants to be a part of it, too.
Oh, God.
Did you do the Apple one?
No, we didn't do the Apple one.
All right, let's do the Apple one.
Dang it.
Because Apple wants to be a part of it. Because remember when Apple was a part of the gaming industry for a while? They did the Apple Pippin. Nobody remembers that? There's a reason why. Because it sucked. Yes. Okay. Apple considering monthly gaming subscription service because, hey, Google's doing it, so let's have Apple do it as well. While Google is making waves... Oh, wait. It's your turn. I'm sorry.
While Google is making waves in the gaming market with its Stadia streaming service, another tech giant is also looking at how to expand within this space. Apple. Bloomberg reports a company who is looking for new ways to make money that capitalize on its enormous install base and hardware sales, speaking of slow down, may reveal new subscription services to keep users spending after they've invested in their Apple hardware, and this could include a gaming subscription service. The service would be less Stadia and more Xbox Game Pass. It would take several paid games, so no free-to-play games like Fortnite, on its iPhone and iPad app stores and bundle them together every month for a flat fee. That's like PlayStation Plus, or Xbox Games with Gold, not... Letting users slowly build a library of games they don't own. What? That didn't make sense. The service would pay out the developers based on the amount of time players spend within their games. According to Bloomberg, Apple could announce this service as early as this Monday, March 25th. We'll see if that's the case.
We didn't hear anything yet.
Yeah, so that did not happen. The company is also expected to roll out new video and new subscription services at this time, which makes a gaming subscription seem likely, but still didn't fucking work out, did it?
No, it didn't. So yeah, Daniel DB631's like, Apple what? Yes, many years ago, Apple decided to get into the gaming industry called the Apple Pippin, where they had various video games, but mostly it was like point and click PC games, and it didn't do very well. In fact, it was like one of the worst selling consoles out there, and it came out like around the late 90s. So with the PlayStation, the Nintendo 64, and the what was it, like the Sega Saturn or Dreamcast around that time. So yeah, the Pippin didn't even stand a chance. Ronan CSC says we don't talk about the Pippin.
Also, over on Twitch, Anthony Watson124 says, just out of curiosity, what got you into YouTubing, Decker and or Patricia?
Oh, that's a really good question. You go first.
Well, for me, it was just sort of a combination of things where I, prefer entertainment. I like entertainment. I enjoy being entertained, and I enjoy entertaining. But also, it was one of those things like whenever I was kind of growing up, the idea of, hey, will you be an internet personality was not even on the table of what do you want to be when you grow up. They're saying, oh, kids these days, they say they want to be YouTubers. Oh, dear God. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. It's an option. But that wasn't even really on the table. That was not something that was thought about at all, so I didn't really think about it too much. And I did see others doing it, and that got me thinking, okay, what am I doing with my life right now? Let's see. I'm a high school dropout. I work in a grocery store. I absolutely hate this job, and I think of killing myself all the time. I should probably do something to fix that shit. And so it was just sort of what I could do that I did enjoy. I gave it a shot. There was a couple of things I did here and there with some videos and had a little fun here and there, but when someone said, hey, your movie reviews are actually pretty good, if you worked on it a bit, maybe you could get on that guy with the glasses, I was thinking, yeah, that's an idea. And once I started doing more of that style of video production, I had a whole ton of fun with it. And I was able to keep it up every week. And for the first season of the show up until October, I was doing nothing but working at Kroger and making videos. I really had absolutely no time for it. I stopped playing video games. I didn't do anything but work at Kroger and make videos for YouTube. But I enjoyed it that much that I was able to keep it going. And then I ended up... it was just I needed the time to make the videos. I was moving, and I thought I was going to be moving a little faster than I actually was, so I might have jumped on the, hey, I'm going to quit my job at Kroger a little sooner than I should have, but I did fortunately have a little bit of money saved up on the side, so I did not just completely fail and be unable to pay my rent. And fortunately, since then, things have built up, and it's doing well. But yeah, it's just, I absolutely hated everything that I was doing and did not like the idea of the future that was set out for me. So I was like, okay, screw it. There's like next to no chance that this is actually going to get somewhere where I can actually say this is my career, but whatever, that's still a chance, and it's still better than what I'm doing now, so I'm going to take it. And now we're here.
All right. Mine is a little bit more simple and to the point. So I started a blog back in 2011 with my cohort and my friend Kevin. We were at a point in which we just hated our lives. We were unemployed, and this was during the Great Recession, so there was no work available. I saw more people in the unemployment line than anything. So we decided that we were going to start a blog and just talking about some of our favorite things. And then eventually we started our own podcast, and we decided to post it on YouTube. We didn't do videos at the time because we didn't have the best computer. We relied on like old, worn out computers that were like a few years old that was just good enough for just doing podcasts and writing blog articles. So we did that for about 3 years until eventually my friend Nick, who I helped do a Let's Play with, he was like saying, your blogs are really good. Why don't you just take what you learned from doing blogs and just do videos? And I was like, I'll think about it. And then around 2014, when eventually I did find a decent job and I was able to save up some money to get a new laptop, I was able to post my first video, and then I started like doing a lot more, and then I started relying a lot more on posting videos and podcasts as opposed to posting blogs. It's been a long time since I would constantly post blogs. The last one I did do a blog article last week, and that was talking about Super Metroid because it was the 25th anniversary. So I did do that, but as for like constant everyday postings, I don't do that anymore, mostly because I go to school and I work, and I also take time to focus on doing more videos and more podcasts. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of what I do and why I decided to be a YouTuber. Just because I love doing it. I love sharing information with people, and I love inviting people over to podcasts or live streams and just talk about things. And I enjoy it. It's something I really do enjoy, and that's why I'm going to school, because I want to pursue that career to the next level. I'm a broadcast major, so I really want to do this for a living.
Okay, Jesse Gallardo is also asking, did I get my GED at least? Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
I did several years after dropping out of high school, but...
Robotech fan says, I'm actually really inspired. No, man, I really mean it, guys. No trolling, no sarcasm. Well, thank you. We really do appreciate it. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Decker working at Kroger. It's hard to imagine with short hair.
I didn't have short hair at Kroger.
Oh, so you did have the long hair at Kroger.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
actually curious. What made you decide to grow your hair?
I had it tied back all the time. Well, it's just a weird thing with growing out my hair. As when I was younger, it was always just crew cuts all the time. The summer crew cut is what you get.
Sure.
That was kind of my grandmother's rule. But my grandmother and my family didn't exactly get along. There was a really bad thing that happened, tragedy, and my family kind of got blamed for it. Specifically myself and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So we got thrown out on the streets. We were homeless for a while, but all the time, whenever my hair got like a little long, and it would just kind of puff up like Screech. Just a little tiny afro just coming up. All the time, I'd always feel like I should be able to see my hair. It was really bothered me that my hair was just something that was just, it would get there, and it's just, and so after we got kicked out, my grandmother's rules on how to raise your kids no longer made any fucking difference. I told my mother, hey, I'd like to grow my hair out. And she didn't have too much of an opinion on it, other than the fact that she had been the one responsible for giving the summer crew cuts, and my hair had been what was responsible for breaking so many fucking pairs of clippers that she bought. She just kind of thought for a second, and was like, as long as you take care of it, grow your hair however the fuck long you want to. That was when I was around 15. And since then, I've just let it grow.
Oh, okay. Well, that does explain a lot then. And I know for Creepy, from what I understand, that he's, I think that he did have short hair at some point, but then he started growing it out a little bit longer, and he just kind of like kept it. I think that when he was working at Walmart, a lot of people called him like he was a creepy guy, and so I guess that he kind of like stuck into it. From what I remember from the Manic Expression documentary.
Jack Brand saying I got great hair, could always sell that to wig manufacturers. Usually they want a donation. And also,
Mhm.
I washed my hair and a couple of hairs come out, and it does add up. I've got a lot of hair here. It's just going down the drain or in the trash. You
Right.
want that? I'll give it to you. Like, no, we must have the hair off your head. But I'm using it.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's go over to some video game news because I think that there's been two things that happened during the past 2 weeks. There was GDC and PAX East. So there were a lot of like video game announcements and video game trailers that have been coming out since then. So one that I never ever suspected in like a billion years was a sequel to System Shock. Most people don't know what System Shock is. It was actually a PC game from the 90s where you got to kind of control this guy and you're stuck in like this spaceship and you're trying to find out what's happening. If you've ever, heard of games like BioShock or Dead Space, this is actually where they got the inspiration from. And now we're actually getting the third installment, which hasn't had another. System Shock came out like around the 90s, so it's been almost over 20 something years since that. So I'm actually I'm really intrigued to see what they're going to do with this game. So let's see what we have. Other Side Entertainment has Twitter pated legions of fans with last night's release of a new System Shock 3 trailer during the Unity keynote at the Games Developers Conference in San Francisco. The trailer features pre-alpha gameplay and showcases a dark, edgy mood. If you are hoping for release information, well, sorry about that, but we at least have a trailer and some sage words from Warren Spector. We want players to feel alone in a strange and dangerous place, a station on the outskirts of our solar system. It's a world which was once alive with activity, but is now controlled by the rogue AI known as Shodan. Living on this station, living on this station or unliving on this station are only robots, mutants, and the dead. We got a bunch of gameplay systems in mind that we're absolutely not going to talk about today, but from a visual standpoint, we needed a setting that was noir-like, dominated by deep, dark, problematic, disturbing shadows, and punctuated by areas of intense, focused light. If you want to check out the trailer, it's right over here. So, yeah, it's Warren Spector, very influential game designer. He was responsible for many popular PC games like around the 90s and 2000s. You may have also heard the name. He was also responsible for Deus Ex, and he was responsible for the first two Epic Mickey games. So knowing that he was also responsible for the first two System Shock games, I'm glad to see that he's coming back on the helm. And, this guy knows what he's talking about. He wrote this really nice, interesting article around, I believe it was like 1999 or 2000, about like the future of RPGs and where they should go. And it was talking about like making decisions, like you're put in this situation, you have to have branching paths and you have to have interesting characters and stories. And everything that he thought about, if you read that article, is like on point with what's going on in today's world of gaming. He was way ahead of his time.
See, I'm just sitting here like, actually, I don't think these branching paths branch as strongly as I would like.
Sure,
I want to
I can
become the evil overlord. I know you can sometimes, but it's usually a very strict way to do it. And that's not the evil way. Evil does not have rules.
Yes, I know. Evil
Why must I go to bed on time?
Yes, it's true. Mass Effect, Fable, you have all these choices about like whether you want to be on the good side or on the evil side. So yeah, I mean, with Deus Ex, you get to choose between like if you want to be a part of three organizations, one of them being the Illuminati, and either that you want to do that or you want to go into a different path, which it had like multiple options, which was very interesting. You can either rely on using nanotechnology, or you can just rely on just learning the skills yourself. You can either go stealth or you can actually shoot people. So there was a lot of different options. Epic Jason X9000 says, Decker, did you hear that both Larry Cohen and Joe Pilato recently died? Yes,
yes.
I actually did bring those articles up. So I guess we can briefly talk about that. So let me see if I can find the first one, which was about Larry Cohen. Here it is. Yeah, it's right here. So Let me bring that up. Let me just take down the System Shocks 3 article. Okay, here it is. Yes. Larry Cohen, legendary cult filmmaker behind The Stuff and It's Alive, has recently passed away. So, yeah, go ahead, Decker.
As reported by Bloody Disgusting, iconic horror and sci-fi filmmaker Larry Cohen, the director behind memorable cult classics like Q, It's Alive, God Told Me To, and The Stuff, God Told Me To. Now, I'm really confused, but I must check that out. Not to mention the screenwriter behind Maniac Cop and Phone Booth has died. On Facebook, the team behind the documentary King Cohen noted that the director's unparalleled talents were surpassed only by his giant heart, adding the impact he made on television and cinema will be felt forever. Cohen was 77. Though Cohen got his start writing for television in the 60s, primarily on crime dramas like The Defenders and The Fugitive, or The Invaders, which Cohen created, he eventually found his true calling in the next decade with a run of quietly clever low-budget horror movies. Films like It's Alive and God Told Me To were originally dismissed by critics and audiences, but the way Cohen managed to thread interesting comments on social issues into his scary sci-fi stories eventually caught on, leading to his films getting reappraised by more appreciative viewers and allowing them to quickly develop a cult status. Cohen also made a number of well-regarded blaxploitation films addressing issues like racism head-on. Yeah, this stuff. Did a review on that. It was one of the first reviews I did, and it was one of the first videos that really got me noticed.
Yeah, that was I think that was the first video you posted up on Manic Expression.
Yeah, that after I posted that on the That Guy with the Glasses community blog section, was approached by James of Manic Expression, like, hey, I got this site over here. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah. A funny thing, I was approached by Les when I was talking about the top 10 Pee Wee Herman moments of 2011, and that was the one that Paul Rubens himself recognized and posted it on his Twitter and Facebook. And then years later, I actually showed him the tweet, and he autographed it for me. Sad thing, though, he didn't even remember about the article. But, it was fair enough. It was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of funny that, both of us were found on, we both were on That Guy with the Glasses for various reasons, but eventually we did go over to Manic Expression for some reason or another. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
It's Alive, for instance, presents itself as a movie about a mutant baby on a killing spree, but it's actually a commentary on the way 70s society mistreated children and the dangers of overuse of prescription drugs, not to mention the fact that the sequels lean on the idea that the government is trying to kill all of the mutant babies, even as their parents realize that they still deserve love and support. Then there's Cohen's The Stuff from 1985, which was a sweet, creamy substance, in which a sweet, creamy substance is found bubbling up from the ground, leading to a company immediately packaging it up and selling it as a delicious ice cream alternative. The eponymous stuff turns out to be a wildly addictive alien parasite of some sort that devours hosts from the inside out, but who cares as long as someone can make money off of it? That one in particular will probably always be relevant, and that sort of awareness helped elevate Cohen's work of the era beyond some of his low-budget horror contemporaries. In more recent years, Cohen moved away from directing horror to focus on screenwriting. He returned to his crime drama roots in a way for Phone Booth, the well-regarded Joel Schumacher movie, in which Colin Farrell has to navigate a tense situation with a sniper over a public phone.
I did hear about that movie, actually, yeah.
He also officially received a well-deserved honor alongside filmmakers like John Carpenter, Tobe Hooper, and Takashi Miike when he became one of the eponymous Masters of Horror for Mick Garris' Showtime anthology series. Cohen directed the episode Pick Me Up, which aired in 2006 and centered on a pair of arguing serial killers. Here's a trailer for King Cohen, featuring a number of other iconic filmmakers talking about the important impact he had on the media.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. Maybe we'll talk more about that when we get some more information.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go over to the second person that Epic Jason X9000 brought up, which was the passing of Joseph Pilato.
Also, over on Mixer, Clucking Moo7 says, "Hi, Decker." Hi, Clucking Moo7. And on Twitch, Anthony Watson124 asks, "Will you do a crossover with Doug Walker? Why or why not?" I'm thinking no, because he probably doesn't. I'm still considered very much below him on the totem pole, so he's kind of in charge of whether or not that crossover happens, and there's not much I could offer him. Like, hey, here's a bunch of people that are subscribed to me that all already know about you, and either like you or don't, and their minds are made up.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Next one. Here it is. So Joseph Pilato, Day of the Dead scene stiller, passed away at the age of 70. So I'll read this one. One of the single best performances you'll find in the late George Romero's oeuvre, would have to be Joseph Pilato's scenery-chewing portrayal of Captain Rhodes in Day of the Dead, the primary human antagonist of the film and one of Romero's most memorable characters. Sadly, we're learned this afternoon that Pilato has left us at the age of 70. Prior to landing one of the top roles in Day of the Dead, Joseph Pilato also had worked with George Romero in Dawn of the Dead and Night Riders, playing small roles in both films. Throughout the 1980s, he also appeared in Effects, Gung Ho, Terminal Force, and Shooters. Going into the 90s and beyond, Pilato appeared in Alienator, Empire of the Dark, The Evil Inside Me, Pulp Fiction, The Demolitionist, Fatal Passion, Wishmaster, and The Ghouls. Friend Marty Schiff broke the sad news on Facebook today, writing, "It is with great sadness that I inform you that actor and old friend Joseph Joe Pilato passed away quietly in his sleep last night. Rest in peace, Joe. Rest in peace indeed, Captain." So, yes, very sad indeed.
Also, Daniel DB631 on YouTube asks, can you cross over with Bob Show? And probably worked together with him a little bit in the past, but never really talked much after that. So I'm pretty sure we could come to some agreement and have a fun little time, figure out something we'd like to look at together and all that. I'm usually just so focused on what I'm doing that I don't think about crossovers so much anymore. I'm just like, okay, I got this going, I got that going, let's just figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
But I still really want to do a crossover with Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh, that'd be fun, yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really do the kind of reviews I do anyway, but I just feel like it'd be fun to have Teddy Ruxpin on.
Sure. But yeah, Teddy was a great guest when we did the E3 coverage last year.
Oh, yeah.
If we'll have to get him again someday. If he's available. Right before we go over to some other video game news, I actually did find this out just a few days ago. So remember, I don't know if you covered this when I wasn't there, Decker, but I sent you an article discussing about how the gas station in Texas Chainsaw Massacre is open to the public.
Can I fill it up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. And and also we did talk about other things in the past, such as like the camp in Friday the 13th. There was one day in which, when they were celebrating the anniversary, that people could actually go over there and watch the movie. But we have another one where something that was featured in a movie is now open for the public, and they can be able to visit there. So we have The Castle from the horror comedy musical Rocky Horror Picture Show has converted into a hotel, and you can actually visit there. So let me just pull up the article real quick.
Okay, Patricia, it's settled. You, Creepy, and I are going to take a road trip down there, and we're going to stay at that hotel.
Yes! That would be so great! Knowing Creepy, he's probably going to be singing Time Warp and Transsexual Transylvania.
And we're taking my car. That way we can have some actual, legitimate, true-to-God car trouble on the way.
Oh, that'd be great, yes. We'll relive the movie. We're going to meet up with Meatloaf and Tim Curry and Susan Sarandon. Yes, I am so stoked. And my screen is frozen. Damn it.
Daniel DB631 is saying in regards to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre gas station is you can fill up with blood if your car happens to run off blood,
Sure.
Scott Duncan saying, yeah, more Decker and drag!
I'm going to have to refresh this. Give me 1 second.
All right, no problem. I will look at more chats. Wolfwine on Twitch says, I love the songs. Is also asking, is it a swingers hotel? Probably gonna be. I'm just gonna come there and throw toast around. Okay, that's my plan. Kevin Burdine saying, but I bet Decker would get a lot of subscribers for reviewing all the Stephen King movies ever made.
There's two of me. I am so sorry.
Including
All right.
TV movies.
Yes, sorry about that. Like I said, it froze.
Oh God, there's two of you.
Yes, I know, there was two of me. I am sorry. So let me just pull up this article, and hopefully it doesn't freeze on me again. So let's see, pull this up. There we go. Okay.
Oh, hi there.
Rocky... Oh God. Oh God, no. Why? Okay, the Rocky Horror Picture Show Castle is now a luxury hotel, and you can stay there. Look at its beautiness. Despite its flaws, both in terms of being less than cohesive story and as problematic portrayal of queer culture, the 1975 film adaptation of the Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of the first depictions of subversive sexuality, at least in musical form. It's also one of the first true cult films, and fans continue to attend midnight screenings around the world even now. But did you know that the Rocky Horror Castle, technically known as Oakley Court, is currently a luxury hotel with 9 bedrooms in the very structure where the time warp originated? Located in Bray, England, just a hop, skip, and a jump from London's Heathrow Airport, around 20 minutes, this old English manor is where many of the film's most iconic and recognizable scenes were shot, acting as the home of Dr. Frankenfurter, known as the Frankenstein Place. You'll no doubt recognize the entryway of Oakley Court, where newly engaged couples Brad and Janet stood dripping wet before they were welcomed inside for the craziest night of their lives. There's also the famous staircase and the room where the dinner scene was filmed. Come Sunday, August 25th, 2019, fans of the cult film will gather at the Rocky Horror Castle to celebrate the film during the Time Warp Picnic. For $260 pounds, euro, whatever.
That's the weird L. That's the pound.
Yeah, okay, so pound sign. For £260, you can secure overnight accommodations at Oakley Court, a full English breakfast, an afternoon buffet on the lawns, and a late-night screening of the film. While the hotel boasts 118 bedrooms, fans of the movie who will book a stay at the Rocky Horror Castle will want to book one of the 9 mansion suites inside Oakley Court, as these are the only rooms that are part of the manor's original structure. In addition to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Oakley Court has acted as a filming location for a slew of films, mostly B-horror movies such as The Curse of Frankenstein, 1957, which I believe was the one with Peter Cushing, Theater of Blood, 1973, and The Brides of Dracula, 1960, which I think that was the... I always confuse which one that is. The next time you'll find yourself in London or its whereabouts, head over to the Rocky Horror Castle Oakley Court for a super luxe stay right on the River Thames. So, yeah, we need to make a trip to England, Decker.
Okay.
That would be so amazing. And yeah, the hotel looks really nice. I'm sure it's like a ton of money, but that would be super awesome. I'm really interested in checking it out.
So £270 for a room?
Yeah, 260 pounds.
Okay, so that's like $500.
Oh, perfect. Pretty much affordable. Yep. Yeah, so it's nice. I'm actually, it's actually really nice that, famous movie locations are able to open up to the public for people to come into. Not a lot of them are. I believe that the house where Halloween was filmed, I believe, is now a chiropractor office, which, if you have a neck or backache, you can go for services. But I think for the most part, I think they just shot various scenes in multiple places, and then you're finding out, where was it filmed at? It's like, oh, it was filmed there, and now it's not there anymore. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, Epic Jason X9000 says, the funny thing for visiting film locations, especially for horror, is that you can't visit the locations for the Blair Witch Project since it was actually not shot in Burkittsville, Maryland. It was shot in Montgomery County, Maryland. I live in Frederick, Maryland, and the woods in Burkittsville is actually not that big.
Okay. Oh,
And also, Kevin Burdine says Rose Red is a hotel too.
Cool. Oh, literally, I just got a message saying, "Hey, Patricia, they actually did find the person who to voice Chucky in the new Child's Play remake. It's going to be Mark Hamill." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Wait, actually, really?
Yes, for real. Let me pull it up right now.
Because that was going to be one of the things I'd say, okay, that'd be a pretty cool one.
No, I just literally just got this message right now. So let me just pull it up real quick. So let me see where it is.
I mean, if I had to pick someone, he'd be who I'd pick. So, okay.
Yeah, sure. Let me see. Child's Play. Okay, got it. Where is it? Here it is. Got it. Okay, here we go. So yeah, thanks to the person who ever shared that to me. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so go ahead. I wish Creepy was here to read it, but he's not. So go ahead.
Oh well, we'll tell him next time.
Yeah, we'll tell him next time.
Mark Hamill will voice the killer doll Chucky in this summer's Child's Play remake, out June 21st. It was announced Saturday at WonderCon. While Hamill is best known for playing Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars movie, he's also an experienced voice artist whose portrayal of the Joker in Batman the Animated Series and subsequent projects is widely regarded as among the best iterations of the character. Brad Dourif voiced Chucky in the original 1988 film and its 6 sequels. The new version stars Aubrey Plaza as a mother who gives her son, Gabriel Bateman, a toy doll for his birthday, unaware of its more sinister nature. The film co-stars Atlanta actor Brian Tyree Henry. The new Child's Play is produced by Seth Grahame-Smith and David Katzenberg, who also oversaw 2017's It and that film's upcoming sequel. The MGM Orion Pictures project is written by Tyler Burton Smith and directed by Norwegian filmmaker Lars Klevberg. Okay.
I think that out of all the people, no, I don't want to take the entrance exam for Dumbledore's army. I think that all
I do. Click that. Click it. Click it.
No, maybe some other time.
I
think that out of all the people, Mark Hamill is a great choice. He would do an excellent job playing as Chucky. So I think that would be awesome. And now we have people posting up things. Josh Washburn says, "Hi, I'm Chucky. May the force be with you." Jesse Guajaro says, "Chucky with a lightsaber." So yes, why can't it be a possessed Joker toy? Says Daniel DB631. So yeah,
I'm thinking of Mark doing it with just kind of his normal voice.
Yeah, I think with his more normal voice too, not with his over the top cartoony voice. I think that he would do it with his more sinister voice, definitely. So let's see. Let's talk about merchandise, because we love merchandise, don't we? So one I want to bring up is 3 figures that are going to be coming out in it's not working. Unable to open. Yay, great. Well, luckily I still have Google to find it up. So I was able to find an article discussing about that they're going to be releasing 3 figures, and one of them was actually Gamera. So I'm actually going to pull that up right now so that you guys can take a look into it. So I found the article, so here we go. So yeah, it's my turn to read. So 3 figures, pre-orders are up. So these 3 new figure arts can be pre-ordered now for release in August. First, we have a version of Yoda from Revenge of the Sith. Yes, just go away. He comes with a lightsaber, his cane, interchangeable heads and hands, and even his Senate seat. The next one is a golden black python armor from the House Protocol scene in Iron Man 3. And the final one is Gamera. He comes with a ton of flight pieces and pedestals for his flight mode, and he'll feature tons of articulation. So if you want to pre-order those for August, then you can go check that out. So let's take a look and see if
over on bleedingcool.com.
Yes, from bleedingcool.com. So, no, I can't. Oh, here we go. So, let me see. Let me just bring the pictures up a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. So, yeah, we have Yoda here from Revenge of the Sith.
He's got a glowy stick.
Yes, he does. He has a glowy stick, and he has interchangeable faces, which, gives a bit of variety, which is cool. And he has the Senate seat right here from Revenge of the Sith. Let's see. This is 2.75 inches, made of plastic, Japanese import exclusive from Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. Highly articulated. It comes with 2 pairs of hands, alternative head, alternative robe, cane, chair, and lightsaber. All right, so the next one is the Iron Man figurine. And as mentioned before, it is the Python armor from Iron Man 3.
Oh, okay. I was a little confused there. I'm like, oh my god, Iron Man's cosplaying Bumblebee.
Yeah, exactly. Part of the House Protocol from Iron Man 3, the Iron Man Mark 20 joins the SF Figure Arts line featuring Python armor. Standing above 6 inches tall, Iron Man is highly articulated and includes several accessories such as Python armor. Here it is. Armor figure, 3 pairs of hands, alternative shoulder parts, alternative arm parts, and 2 effects parts. And finally, last but not least, we have Gamera.
Yeah.
So we have this really meticulously crafted Gamera. You can see and here is the little waves right here for when he is in flight mode. Based on the kaiju film Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, the SH Monster Arts Gamera stands over 5 inches tall, including multiple points of articulation. It includes 2 flight form parts, 4 rotation flight effects parts, and rotation flight pedestal.
So he doesn't have the flipper flying, but he does have straight jet mode. As it's Gamera
Yes.
Guardian of the Universe, and flipper flying wasn't added until the advent of Legion movie.
Right.
The second part of the Heisei trilogy.
Right, so this is classic Gamera, not Heisei.
Well, it is Heisei Gamera, but it's first Heisei Gamera. Okay. Flipper flying was in the second movie.
Gotcha, okay.
And the third.
Mm-hmm, and third. All right, so if any of these things look interesting to you, then yeah, check out the Bleeding Cool site and go ahead and pre-order it right before August. Patricia, thank you for pronouncing my name right. Oh, you're very welcome. Dreamful Girl says, "Oh God, please no flipper flying. Worst upgrade ever."
Agent Orange is asking, does it have elbow spikes though? And yeah, that's the upgrade Gamera got in Guardian of the Universe, where normally he was walking around with just regular arms, but by the end, to win the climactic battle, he got the elbow spike.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the picture.
They weren't just out all the time until the second movie.
Okay, gotcha.
So it was
so
in the first movie
more in the first movie, yeah.
He had to think about it, and the elbow spike came out, and then he could elbow people really hard.
Mm-hmm. All right, I want to bring up one more bit of merchandise right before we go over to some more YouTube news, because we love that, of course.
No.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh,
okay, so
we gotta
here we
wrap
have
things up soon.
Yes, I know.
Oh, but yeah,
so here we
nice.
have an official Mortal Kombat candle. A while ago, I actually did bring up a line of candles that had the sense of movie genres, like the smell of westerns, the smell of horror movies, the smell of romance movies. But now here we have a video game scented candle. A video game scented candle with Mortal Kombat that smells like blood, sweat, and tears. And of course the candle is red. So it's coming out in honor of Mortal Kombat 11. So go ahead, Decker. It's your turn.
Mortal Kombat 11 is set to the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC on April 23rd, and you can fully immerse yourself in the game thanks to this officially licensed classic MK candle. It smells of blood, sweat, and tears, which will no doubt heighten the experience more than your own blood, sweat, and tears. But we've seen the character trailers. Apparently, the scent of exploding vital organs is a little too difficult to pin down. The Mortal Kombat candle is available for pre-order right here for $16.99, with shipping slated for mid-April. In addition to the blood, sweat, and tear scent, the candle also features classic Mortal Kombat character-selected imagery and a burn time of 40 hours.
Oh, lovely.
So it's almost 2 whole days I can smell like a crime scene.
Right, so if any of you guys are interested in having a blood-scented candle to play along with Mortal Kombat 11, then be my guest. I mean, it's kind of weird. They're like the scented candles. There was another article that I did actually pull up where it had theme park attraction scents. Like there was the scent of the Haunted Mansion, and it was and it was like, okay, I think that people are taking it a little bit too far when it comes to candle scents. So sure, whatever. Okay, so one more thing that I want to bring up. This one is a poster for an upcoming animated feature based off of the Addams Family. So I'm actually really curious about this one, but the art style. I mean, if you take a look at like look at the art style for this, like wow, this looks actually pretty frightening. I mean, look at Grandma right over there. It's like it is terrifying, and Wednesday's face is so thin, like it was like squashed together with like symbols. And Morticia and Gomez are pretty spot on, and Uncle Fester. I mean, I guess if we're going by Christopher Lloyd's interpretation, sure. Thing and Lurch, they look pretty normal. And Pugsley, oh god, look at Pugsley. My god. That is freaky. So,
Right then.
yeah,
Right.
I'm actually curious about this. So, here you go. It's not really that long.
Is this me?
Yeah, it's your turn this time.
I
I read about wait, did I
I read the
did you read
candle.
about- oh yeah, right, you read the candle. So it's my turn. Okay, so get your snapping fingers ready. This fall, the Addams Family is returning to the silver screen in a new animated incarnation. Although the first trailer of the Addams Family won't drop until next month, which we'll definitely need to talk about. We can get our first glimpses of the iconic characters originally created as cartoons by Charles Addams and brought to life in a 1960s TV series and a pair of 90s live-action movies. In a brand new poster, and the whole gang looks particularly ghoulish. That's an understatement. The film has an all-star cast, including Oscar Isaac as the romantic patriarch Gomez, Charlize Theron as Morticia, Chloe Grace Moretz will voice Wednesday, and Stranger Things star Finn Wolfhard will play Pugsley. The ensemble cast includes Allison Janney, Amy Garcia, Nick Kroll, Bette Midler, and 8th grade breakout Elsie Fisher. Sausage Party's Conrad Vernon and Greg Tiernan are directing. So I guess it's behind the people behind Sausage Party, so this should be interesting.
John Washburn says that yes, the original black and white pictures were this creepy.
Well, yeah, I guess they are mostly featuring their looks based off of the comics.
Zart Leader 97 says it looks almost like the old cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the old cartoon was a little bit more streamlined in their creepy designs because they were trying to be, they were trying to capture the popularity based off of the movie and not based off of the old comics. So yeah, if these are based off of the old comic strips, then I can see that with the aesthetic, but it still looks pretty creepy to me. But in a good way. It's actually funny because I remember a few years ago that Tim Burton was going to be doing an Addams Family movie, and I think that it was like around the time when he was doing Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp. So I think that maybe because Dark Shadows didn't do very well, that the Addams Family project dropped, and so now we have this other incarnation. Let's see. Patricia, did you know? Brandon Kilgore says, Patricia, did you know one reason that people complained about the Stitch ride in Disney because of the belch smell making people nauseous? I did hear about that. It's funny because I was actually in Disney World not too long ago, and I was actually in Magic Kingdom, and don't go to Magic Kingdom during spring break. I'll just give you that as a warning because it was ridiculous. I could not go into a single ride. And the Stitch ride was even very long when I was at Tomorrowland. So I didn't know that it had like a belch smell, probably from Stitch. So yeah, belch scented candle. Get on that, Disney, because of course you will. Brandon Kilgore says again, Raul Julia was the best Gomez in my opinion. Yeah, Raul Julia did a fantastic job as Gomez. He really captured the character of Gomez, being so incredibly loving towards Morticia and just acting really crazy in that scene with Uncle Fester when they were performing the dance and they were having the knives together. So it's kind of funny that those two movies they really kind of brought in the kind of the feel of the Addams Family, that they're just this family that everybody else just thinks it's weird, but they just act so normal. But things are just like the way that they do things is like looks very torturous, but they treat it like normal. And like when Wednesday brings Pugsley into the electric chair, and he's like, "Want to play a game?"
What's it called? Is there a god?
Or the second movie in which there's when they're approaching the Girl Scout, and it's like, I'm selling Girl Scout cookies, and it's like, is it made of real Girl Scouts? or the Native American scene in which like she was like saying, "You oppress my people," and then she set the whole stage on fire.
It's for this reason I have decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground.
Yes. Or when the final scene in which when they got the couple and they actually dug ditches for them, it's like, he's like, are they dead? And then Wednesday was like, do you care? All right. Well, that's enough of that. So we're reaching about
the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, we're reaching almost the 3-hour mark. So let's quickly discuss about YouTube news because why not? So this one, geez, I have no words for this one. Just okay. 14-year-old teenage boy makes £150,000 from playing Fortnite and uploading it to YouTube, and he never goes to school, and he has over 1 million subscribers. I got nothing. Just why?
I would say that school's important, except that'd be hypocritical of me.
Fair point, but
I'm just pointing my finger at this kid's face, like I'm gonna give you the wording of a lifetime as soon as I figure out exactly what angle to use. How dare you do better than me?
And if you want to, I know that there was a lot of, I remember like coming across an article about a month ago about a teenager who wanted to drop school because he thought of having a YouTube career would make him a lot of money. But, he was actually willing to like put work into it. He wanted to do, I think he wanted to do a review show, but we have a kid, a 14-year-old kid who spends 8 to 18 hours playing Fortnite, and he has gotten 1 million subscribers because of it. So, it's just, wow. So, yeah, go ahead, Decker.
I just think, good on him? Okay.
Yeah, good on him. Yeah, absolutely. Good on him. But it's just like, I'm just so confused,
Spikoski records himself playing Fortnite and then uploads those videos to YouTube. He then receives a large amount of money from advertising, sponsors, and subscriber donations. His career really took off around 9 months ago when he gained 7.5 million views on a video showing him beating a well-known Fortnite gamer. Did he kick Ninja's ass? Hope so. The teenager is from New York and fits his gaming around online high school courses.
Okay, so he is taking classes. Okay,
well, that's fine then.
That's fine. That's perfect.
He doesn't go to school, but he does school.
Sure, that's fine. Okay.
Spikoski goes by the name Skeptic on YouTube and has over 1 million subscribers. He has admitted that some of his weekend 18-hour Fortnite sessions are probably too much. The teen justified his excessive gaming to ABC by saying, "It's kind of like my job." His parents have hired a financial advisor to help him handle his income and have helped him set up a company. They see his gaming as a sport and advise other parents to encourage their children if they're passionate about video games. Oh yeah, it's about fucking time. UK-based esports organization Misfits Gaming actually lists Skeptic as a professional athlete. He's described as a professional esports athlete. I love the setup of this. Skeptic only has sensible plans for his fortune, though, as he wants to save it so he can pay for university fees and buy a house in the future. The teen and his family are traveling to Berlin next month for an international online video gaming convention.
Okay, well, good for him.
Good on him. Good on him.
Yeah. I'm just, shocked that, a kid his age is able to, get all that stuff, rather quickly. But you know what? If he's able to, have a normal, school, a normal life involving with, taking classes and figuring out his future, then, you know what? Good for him.
If there were all these options to do things online and have just a YouTube channel, when I was that young, I would have been all over that shit, especially if people were already saying, yeah, this is an option for you. This is a thing you can do with your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things. But, oh well. I was
Yeah,
born
I
too
mean,
early.
yeah.
I had to trade. I traded off being I had to trade. So instead of that, I got this to play 16-bit games when they were new, versus being a millionaire when I'm in my teens.
Yeah, I sadly, when it came to like, playing video games online, that wasn't a thing unless you couldn't like live stream with dial-up. I mean,
Oh
I know
gosh.
that I know in Japan they had like some sort of like TV show where they like would like live stream them playing video games while they would like answer like phone calls from gamers who wanted to know about gaming tips. I know that was a thing in Japan, and also from like game shows like Nick Arcade was a thing in which like kids would play games. But yeah, nothing. I mean, trust me, we didn't have anything like this at all. Like almost 30 years ago.
On Twitch, Anthony Watson124 says, "That's it, Decker. Stop reviewing movies and start playing games and get millions of views." And I don't know. I am playing games. They're not getting that many views. I got 8,000 subscribers on the gaming channel. Creepy past 5 my gaming channel. He's like, "Fuck you, Decker. You useless piece of shit."
Yes, Epic Jason X9000 says yes. The Satellaview for the SNES. That's correct. Which not a lot of people had, and I believe it was like Japan exclusive. So yeah, it was kind of pretty expensive, and not a lot of people had like great internet. So all right, I want to bring up one more thing, and this is a bit of a nice point for YouTube. So here we go. Okay, so Skyrim Grandma will be an NPC in the Elder Scrolls 6. So I'm sure some of you people will probably have heard of her. So yeah, she is a YouTuber who does Let's Plays and live streams based off of Skyrim, and she has the nickname of Skyrim Grandma. And it has been announced by Bethesda that they are actually going to make an NPC character based off of her. Shirley Curry, there we go. The 82-year-old grandmother and YouTuber known for her Skyrim videos will make an appearance in the Elder Scrolls 6. Bethesda will use photogrammetry technology to scan the legendary Skyrim enthusiast and add her to the game. Bethesda revealed new information about the technology behind the Elder Scrolls 6 today at PAX East during the Elder Scrolls 25th anniversary panel. In a video about the series, the company explained their planned use of photogrammetry technology, which will take scans of real-life objects and translate them into high-detail 3D. This will be used for the game's environment, and similar scanning technology will be used to add Grandma Shirley to the game as a character. And that looks freaky.
Well, it's the same kind of technology that they use for the Resi engine.
Oh, fair enough. But with the Resi engine, I mean, things are supposed to look creepy. It's a horror game.
Well, yeah, but I mean, before you have Bethesda characters in all of the previous Bethesda games, and they look not so great.
Okay, fair enough. This means a lot to me, Curry says in the video, because I would be extremely happy to know that somebody else will be playing with my character in a future Elder Scrolls game. Curry boasts 483,000 subscribers on YouTube, where she posts Let's Plays of Skyrim and speaks to her viewers through her vlogs. Curly confirmed her addition to the Elder Scrolls 6 on Twitter, which she also showed off a video with her meeting Todd Howard, saying, well, since this made the announcement today about me as a character in the next TES game, I can show my favorite thing I brought away with me. She was wearing a nice Elder Scrolls t-shirt. Todd looked happy too. We don't know much about the Elder Scrolls 6 will release, but Eagle Eye fans will know to look up Curry, whose specific role is unknown. She might end as a tough bandit, but I guess she's a friendly adventurer with sagely wisdom to impart.
I hope she's a companion character. I hope that you can just meet her like adventuring, kicking ass in a dungeon, and you can go and have a little quest together, and she can just follow you around for the rest of the game and carry your stuff. Yeah, but still also kick ass.
Sure.
That's my hope.
Yeah, I think that should be it. We have already reached the 3-hour mark, so I guess we can just end things right here.
Oh yeah, it's lots going on. Whew.
Yeah,
man, there was
too much stuff.
And there was also a lot of news that me and Creepy just did not get to. So,
That's okay.
So let me just do a real quick fire of a couple of things I see here. Genesis Mini is coming in September. It's actually not being made by At Games, so there's a chance that it's going to be okay. Kaz Hirai is retiring.
Yep.
So much like Reggie, that is just kind of a changing of an era. The Wall Street Journal says that there's 2 new Switch models coming out, but they didn't name their sources, and most of the things they're saying is just straight conjecture, so I'll believe it when I see it.
Sure.
Okay, The Wind is a Western horror film, and they made a trailer 8-bit game that's a pain in the ass to play, and I think it's not really doing that great of a job of actually selling the game, because, not the game, the movie, because I got to level 3 and I got really pissed off at how hard the game was to control, so I stopped playing.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I've never heard of an 8-bit interactive trailer for a horror movie. I mean, it's like, good on them for marketing, I have to say.
Classic Vampire the Masquerade's getting a sequel.
Yep, the 2000
Bloodlines 2.
Yes, Bloodlines 2 is what the game is called. Vampire the Masquerade was like a game from like 2004 that received pretty good reviews, but not a lot of sales, which made it a cult classic, but now it's finally getting a sequel after almost 15 plus years later.
Okay, now this is confusing me, because you say that the Broadway adaptation of Jekyll and Hyde will be getting a film adaptation. Is this like in Grand Theft Auto, where the radio is talking about how this band was released a live album for the tour, and now they're doing another tour based on the live album of their last tour?
I guess you could say that. It's very similar to how like Broadway has made film adaptations like Cabaret or Grease or Hairspray, in which they, there were plays and then they had film adaptations, or Les Miserables. So it's like that. So we're getting the Broadway version of Jekyll and Hyde is getting a movie. That's essentially what that's essentially what it is.
Well, as long as they sing and dance,
that will probably be a thing.
There's a new horror series coming to Netflix called Black Summer.
Disney
got tired of Electronic Arts bullshit fucking up Star Wars games and hired Lucasfilms.
Mm-hmm. Yay, finally. About freaking time. I will still never forgive EA for, throwing away the hard work that Amy Hennig put into the Star Wars games. I seriously want to just punch EA right now for doing that.
Quentin Tarantino has a new trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes, and it involves with Charles Manson, because of course it does.
We're getting a music game of Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Like the Cadence of Hyrule is like a rhythm-based game, and then it's kind of like now they have the Zelda twist into it.
So it's kind of like what was it called? The Final Fantasy one.
Dissidia. Is it Dissidia? Or no, that's not. That's
like the one for DS or 3DS.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think that's kind of like what it is.
Right. Oh yeah, they found out they have a good idea who the hell Jack the Ripper is now. I mean, they did the DNA test back in 2014, but a lot of it's being revealed now, and they're like, oh yeah, that guy who was in the asylum for a couple of years before he died. Shortly after the Whitechapel murders ended, and he was just really fucking crazy. And we thought for a while he's probably was Jack the Ripper. Turns out DNA says, yeah, that was probably Jack the Ripper, based on some DNA samples left at one of the crime scenes.
Yes, Kevin Burdine says Disney now owns Fox. Yes, we did talk about that last time.
And there's going to be an anniversary collection of Konami games for Castlevania, Contra, and other arcade titles.
Yes. So, yeah, usually Midway or Atari would, release an archive of, their classic games into, one collection. And now Konami's going to be doing it, which, it's long overdue, to be quite honest. Some of the games that are going to be, showcased are, there's Bloodlines and Castlevania... the Castlevania game on the Game Boy, which is going to be a part of it, which, is very surprising. And there's going to be some other reveals. I know that Contra is going to be a part of it, and so will other arcade ports, which, that'll be really interesting to see, where Konami takes with this, especially since they haven't been doing well lately. And yes, Epic Jason X9000, you are correct. Samurai Showdown recently had a teaser trailer release. So yes, I was gonna post that up, but time got away from me. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for news. I mean, there's a lot of things we could have talked about, but we're running low on time.
Oh, yeah. So, what is everyone doing? Creepy, go first.
Yeah, well, he'll probably just say that. Let's see. I think I did message Creepy the other day asking him about something, and the last thing that he told me that he was working on. Let me just see if I can pull it up. So, here it is. I got let's see. I got a lot of review stuff to catch up on, filming, editing, and writing a whole script for Midnight Wang Theater. So yeah, that's going to be his next thing, and I'm sure that for fans of Creepy, you already know about his work with DuckTales, Gem, Batman the Animated Series, X-Men the Animated Series, and Scooby Doo. So whichever comes first. And he recently posted up the season 4 of Daria, looking back on season 4. So, yeah, there's plenty of stuff to check out. And as for me, I'm actually planning on doing a live stream tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Yes, I'm.
No rest for the wicked.
Yeah. Yes, I'm planning on doing a live stream tomorrow, and I'm going to be making a few announcements discussing about some stuff that I've been working on for quite a while. So I hope that I'll see you then. I'll be posting up some more details on it on my social media. So if you follow me there, then hopefully that I'll be able to see you guys.
Daniel
so
DB631 says Creepy still evading a storm that's personally targeting him.
Yeah, that thunder was really loud. By the way, we heard it, just from the microphone. So yeah, Decker, what do you got coming up?
Well, still doing movie reviews, as it were. I'm gonna try and get back to spitting on graves. If I can.
Yay!
If I can.
Mm-hmm.
If I can. And the what words? Ah, yeah. Still playing through EDF 5 on Twitch, usually streaming it there, and uploading it later to YouTube. But also just got the twins, who you might remember from the EDF 4.1 playthrough. Just recently, they got EDF 5, so I've been kind of playing through EDF 5 Boot Camp with them. They've been talking about, hey, you want to stream this too? I'm like, no, let's just play. Let's get to where we are in the game and then join up with Creepy and Numbers, or possibly not. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because you can't have 5 players in the game, so we have 1 extra now, and it's going to be weird. But if I can get myself Creepy and the twins, then that's 4. If I can get myself Creepy, Numbers, and one of the twins, they're going to have to do a death match and figure out which one gets to play.
Okay.
And then we can possibly get through that, and I'm looking very much forward to EDF Iron Rain coming out on the 11th. And yeah, so yeah, I'm living EDF, but I'm also reviewing movies. Yay.
All right. Well, sounds great. I think that we can just end it right here.
Alright, so thank you all for joining us. I've been Decker Shadow.
And I've been Patricia.
And remember, always check the weather before making any serious plans.
Good night, everybody.
Good.